Hans, your second meeting of the season. How did things go for you at Bellevue last evening?
Not too bad. Could have been better. We lost by 8 points, but it was a close match all the way through. Could have equaled if we had a 5-1 in the last one, but it was a reverse, so we finished up 8 points behind. But generally, it was a pretty good meeting, and I was pretty happy the way my Jawas performed, and I just had a last place in the final. Otherwise, I scored 10 from my other 4, so I was pretty happy about that. And the team performed quite well. Our reserves performed very well. They scored about 7 and 8 points, Cunningham and Morten Andersen. So that was pleasing to see. We had a little problem with Martin Dugard losing his chain in his first race from a first position, and also Troy Butler seized an engine. Otherwise, I think we might just have won.
Dean Barker and Troy Butler. There goes that corner. All 4 together there, bit of bunching. And Barker just gets ahead of Bobby Ott. Ott goes round the outside and crashes, or just about crashes. Russell coming out of gate 3. There we go, Dugard lights his track. It's a good start. It's happening in the back. On Joe's green. And Dugard's got a problem. Hans Nielsen in gate 3. I remember Kelly Moran giving him a good race or two in a match against Oxford a couple of seasons ago. Look at that for a start from Nielsen. Moran goes round the outside and screen challenging. Superb bit of riding there by Kelly Moran. And Joe Screen looks in a good position as well. And Screen was fancy his chances. We're out the outside. The crowd enjoying this one. All eyes on second place. Screen getting close again, so it's Kelly Moran in front. Joe Screen, this is where he challenged on the last lap. Getting closer. So Hans Nielsen leading, Screen challenges again. Half wheelie there for him, Hans Nielsen. Nielsen just pecking for the gear a bit, but this is super riding from Moran. Kelly Moran beats Hans Nielsen and puts the aces on level terms. Bobby Ott in the outside gate. Oxford round to be looking to Dugard to make a start. Ott goes round the outside. Lyons here battling away with Dugard. Lyons being overtaken. Momentarily anyway by Andersen.
A few changes in the Oxford side. You've more or less lost your third heat leader and gone for a more strength and depth side this season.
Well, that's true. In the past, we really had a sort of a top-heavy team and weak reserves, but I think we could be a more even team now. I think we have strong reserves, and I think we have a reasonable top 5. So, you know, it remains to be seen what we can do.
Not only are they promising reserves, they're very exciting reserves. The young Glenn Cunningham and Morten Andersen can both improve greatly.
Exactly. I mean, young Glenn Cunningham, he only started to riding for the juniors in the middle of last season. He's only 16. And then he rode for us a few meetings towards the end of last year. And he's been improving all the time. And then last night he was incredible. He rode really well. And then Morten Andersen, of course, proved himself last year, not only in the World Championship here at Coventry, but also on his trial for Swindon for about 6 or 7 meetings. So he's been around a few places, you know, England now, and you know what to expect of English track. So he certainly rode very well last night as well. So hopefully he can continue that tonight as well.
An interesting clash of the under-21s 1 and 2. It's been very interesting to see who finished up with a higher average at the end of the season, bearing in mind, of course, obviously Brian's going to have the much tougher start with having to ride in the main body of the team from the off, whereas Morten will have the use of a lot of matches at reserve, because of course these Gold Cup fixtures do not count towards the averages. The averages will not come in until a team has ridden 6 British League matches.
Here we go then, heat number 8, Michael Warren on the
Coming into
inside.
line then for race number 8.
Cunningham off gate 3.
From Michael Warren is settling that number 1 gate. Green light comes on. Away, and it's Brian Anderson making a good gate. The 3 gates, Cunningham and Morton and Warren get out with him. And down the back straight they go, and it's Brian Anderson shows from Michael Warren nicely on the inside. Morton Anderson to move through in the second. So Bees pack the major places going into that Cobney corner. Morton Anderson again goes to the line right round the outside that Cobney corner and picks off Michael Warren at 3. Really found some speed there in Morton Anderson on the outside that Cobney corner to get round Michael Warren. It's Brian Anderson with the advantage at the moment then from Morton Anderson. Michael Warren in close attendance in third as Morton Anderson goes wide on that Cobney corner. Michael Warren trying to slip through on the inside. Cunningham showing off at the back, and they move into the pits corner once again. This crucial heat number 8 going Bees way at the moment again as Morton Anderson again goes wide coming off the pits corner. Warren, what they do this time, goes to line round the outside. Morton Anderson on that Cobney corner. The race is on for second pot, and Michael Warren superbly round the outside, and Morton Anderson there. Anderson takes in one, and Warren again back round the outside of the pits corner, but Morton Anderson back through on the inside. The best race of the night. There's a shadow of a doubt what's going to happen on this Coventry corner. Brian Anderson wins it. Second is Morton Anderson. Third spot Michael Warren, and that was superb action there between Michael Warren and Morton Anderson. The rain continues to hammer down as Tommy Knudsen settles in gate number 1. Steve Barker on beat in gate number 2. In 3, John Jorgensen, and in gate 4, Martin Dugard. Settling for 12. A clean break, and Dugard's quickly out for that 4 gate, but Knudsen's even quicker with the inside. Knudsen gets the corner first, and down goes Dugard and Knudsen in a fair already knots into the fence. They touched halfway across the pits corner. Dugard got out quickly from the outside, Knudsen out quickly from the inside. They got to the corner first. The track was difficult. They were both giving it 100%. No exclusion lights on. It'll be interesting what David Hughes does about it. Martin Dugard walks away. Tommy Knudsen still down on the track. The referee's decision, probably the right one. Slightly old. Stony problem of tyres.
Rear tyre. We told you we changed his bike, and well, helmet is okay. The thumb goes in the air.
So the riders settling in for 13. Green light comes on. Away, Alice Smith making a good gate to the inside. Nielsen gets in when they give Miller a job on the outside of that pit corner. Miller screws it on back round the outside. Tremendous action there on that first corner. And Smith shows in for Nielsen. Miller trying to get inside Nielsen. The Cobney corner. Nielsen gives a big hand for round the outside. Comes alongside Smith. Fantastic speedway action there in wet conditions between Nielsen, Smith and Miller. That really was high-class speedway in appalling conditions. And Smith's not finished yet. Having to go on the inside. Nielsen on that Cobney corner, but Smith trying too hard, falls on the Cobney corner, and that could be disastrous for Coventry now. Are you 100% fit tonight, Tommy, after your accident on Saturday?
I think so. I had a good practice on Wednesday down at Iwade, and I felt quite good. Still getting a few headaches, but nothing too serious. And I was just lucky that I didn't get hurt any more than I did. And I'm just glad that Martin Dugard didn't get hurt, because I feel it was my fault. I just went straight for the dirt, and I didn't think he was up as far as he was. So I thought I was clear of him, and I sort of hit him in the side. So afterwards, at the time I didn't know what happened, but afterwards I could see that it was my fault.
It's nice to see you having a word with Martin tonight. They wanted to, obviously, the press blow it up out of all proportion, but it was nice to see you and Martin chatting before the meeting tonight.
Well, the thing is, on Saturday he didn't really want to know when I approached him, but he was upset, and which I could understand, and we just had a word now, and you know, he seems okay now. It's silly going around, you know, having bad feelings, because it happens in racing sometimes, and but you know, we're talking again, no problem.
Intriguing situation tonight, because in the past Coventry have lost at home to Oxford, particularly the Knockout Cup, and then come to Oxford and won here. Bearing in mind this is Oxford's first home match, it could be a very interesting match tonight.
Well, I just hope we can win here tonight to make up for last Saturday, and we have had some very good meetings here in the past, so I just hope we can start off with a good away win now.
Obviously, the Oxford fans very interested in the fact that you have swapped the Jawa for this season.
Yes, well, obviously it was a bit of a shock to everybody, especially the poor guys in Poland. They've been riding Jawas for years, and I thought they weren't competitive because they're riding Jawas, and now they have the opportunity to go to Gardens and GMs, and all of a sudden I go and change to Jawas, so that's a bit of a shock for them. But I think the Jawa has always been quite a good product, but there hasn't really been enough top riders to ride it to representative and to be successful on it. But I think the last couple of years it has certainly been a good product from what we've seen. We've seen a few guys go good on it, and I've now been with Garden for 11 years, and I've been happy with Garden, so they've been going good. But I felt that it's probably a time for a change and you know, bring some new muscles into the enthusiasm.
And a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to Oxford Speedway for this first meeting of the 1992 season. It's Gold Cup action tonight. And before we get the introductions underway, could I ask you all please to be upstanding for the national anthem. Riding at number 1, it's Hans Nielsen. Unfortunately, number 2, Mark Carlson, is still yet to arrive from Australia, so his place in tonight's meeting is taken by Spencer Timmo. And at number 3, again a familiar face, Martin Dugard. And after a lone season at Milton Keynes, he's back with us. At number 4, it's Troy Butler. And at number 5, he was really going well at Coventry last Saturday night, and that's Dean Barker. And at number 6, also a lad that's really improving now, reserve, that's Glenn Cunningham. And at number 7, our new signing, second in the under-21 World Final last year, that's Morten Andersen.
So riders making their way onto the track for the first race of action for 1992. The Chief has already been in action twice this season, going down the last heat decider at Bellevue last Friday, winning at Coventry on Saturday. Interesting to see both team managers coming out to watch the start of this first heat tonight. As the riders settle for heat number 1, Graham Reed, the referee in charge of proceedings tonight. Already little anxious start. Knudsen makes a good gate, the 2-gate. Nielsen gets out with him. Andersen goes the line round the outside tip to move through into third position. As Knudsen shows then for Nielsen. Andersen not too far behind Nielsen. And that's the order into that pits corner. Knudsen slides it right round on the middle of that pits corner. Nielsen saw the gap went through on the inside. As Nielsen now shows then from Tommy Knudsen. Brian Andersen in third. Spencer Timmo at the back. Oxford, of course, for the first time ever in the northern section of the Gold Cup this year, with the loss of Berwick and Arena Essex coming up into the southern section. A team had to be moved over, and it's Oxford who are now in this northern section. So settling for the start of heat number 4. It's Cunningham, whose front wheel is pulled right up to those tapes in the 3-gating position. Perfectly, still a lovely start. Miller makes a good gate, but lifts out of the start. This Dugard who has the advantage into that top corner. Bentley round the outside of Miller. In fact, nicely round the outside of Dugard. Good ride there by Paul Bentley. Saw him go around teammate Rick Miller and also round the outside of Martin Dugard. They come out of that pits corner virtually locked together. And it's Bentley with the advantage over Dugard. Bentley goes wide in the top corner, overslides it. Dugard gets back through on the inside. Bentley bravely back round the outside. Dugard back through on the inside. Tremendous action in this run. And as Dugard takes Bentley wide in that pits corner, has the advantage now as they complete lap number 2. Dugard from Bentley, Miller in third, Cunningham at the back. The best action of the meeting so far. Some good action between Paul Bentley and Martin Dugard. It's now Dugard starting to stamp his authority on this race number 4 as he leads on to lap 4. Bentley in second, Miller in third, Cunningham quite a way down at the back. So look to after that 5-1 to Oxford in heat number 3. If we're back to the 3-all situations in heat 4. And coming through for a good running line there is Martin Dugard. An equally impressive second there to Paul Bentley. And in third place, Rick Miller. So the third 3-all in 4 heats. And Tommy Knudsen is 7 paid 8 in his opening 4, Rick Miller 6 paid 7 paid 8 in his opening 3, Rick Miller 6 paid 7 in his opening 3. Martin Dugard unbeaten in his ride so far. So an interesting heat 11 looms up. And already at the tapes, green lights on. Away, and Dugard makes a good gate, the 3-gate. Miller squeezed inside him on the inside of that top corner. Dugard screws it on round the outside. Miller leads in nothing at all. It's Miller with the advantage on that back straight, and Morton Anderson squeezed inside Knudsen, so Knudsen drops back to the back as Dugard trying to cut back inside Miller coming off the pits corner. But Miller then from Dugard, Anderson third, Knudsen somewhat surprisingly at the back, and these looking for points from their skipper in this one. There's Miller again, a good ride from the testimonial American in the company all this season. Leeds can put in lap 2, Dugard in second, Anderson third, Knudsen getting a bit closer to Anderson for that third place position. Anderson on mid-track, Knudsen goes to line right round the outside, squeezes by Morton, Anderson to take up the third place position. Anderson trying to hit back on the inside of that pits corner, but Knudsen closing down nicely as Miller leads on to 4. Dugard gets a bit closer down that back straight for the final time. It's Knudsen in third, so it looks as if Martin Dugard's going to be beaten for the first time on an impressive line. Winning line coming up from Rick Miller. Second, Martin Dugard. Third spot, Tommy Knudsen. So the tactical working again for the Beans. That pairing picked up a 5-1 in race 9. They pick up a 4-2 in race 11. Miller being called up for the tapes in the 4-gate. And Nielsen's got a problem, I think, with the position of Knudsen in the 2-gate. Having words with the starting marshal about the position that Knudsen's got in the 2-gate. They now all pull back from the tapes again. Come back into line. And as I see it, back into exactly the same positions again, so didn't quite see what that problem was. Now Dugard's not happy there, adjusting his goggles in the 3-gate. Knudsen moves back out of line again in the 2-gate. And back into line they come again, and they finally get heat 15 away. Green lights on. Away, and Knudsen makes a good gate for the 2-gate. Dugard makes a better one for the 3, and Nielsen squeezes through inside Knudsen on the inside of that first. And there goes Miller in the action back, sweeps by Nielsen to move through in the second as Dugard shows then from Miller, and Nielsen squeezes inside Miller. Miller trying to come again and got a good race on her hands this time as Dugard from Miller. Nielsen in third, Knudsen at the back. Miller goes wide in that top corner again. Nielsen squeezes back inside him, but Miller again that quicker line back round the outside, and Knudsen's not finished yet. He comes back in the action after Miller. Miller locks it up right on the inside of that pits corner to allow Nielsen a sweep round the outside. Rick Miller trying so hard there in second spot, spotted on that pit score. Nielsen tried to attack round the outside that time, went sweeping past Rick Miller. So the Chile's back a 1-2 situation now on to lap number 4 with Dugard from Nielsen. Miller in third, Knudsen at the back. So Oxford are going to finish off with maximum points from Martin Dugard. Looks behind him, Sue's in second place, and the answer is his skipper Hans Nielsen. And Nielsen really roaring off to Dugard as Dugard wins it. Nielsen finishes in second with a wheelie. That's a paid maximum for the Cheetahs skipper. And in third place it is Rick Miller, who's rode hard for the Bees tonight. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously, been the stamping ground for so long, it'd be good to come back and have a good meeting, so I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Bradford once again have assembled a very strong side this year. You did very well last year, Gold Cup, Knockout Cup. You must the main priority this season has got to be the league.
Yeah, it's you know, the main priority is winning, and that's what the whole thing's all about. And you know, it's a good environment to be in. I enjoy it a lot up there, and you know, it's a long way up there for me, but you know, a lot of fun and good track, and I enjoy it a lot.
You were on loan there last season. We hear that you have signed permanently for Bradford. Are you very pleased about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously you've got to look on the good things that are coming your way, and you know, shame to be moving from Oxford after such a long time, but a lot of good things in front of me yet. So you know, I'm quite excited about my future and looking forward to this year at Bradford.
As a former Oxford rider, any predictions on the score in tonight's match?
No, not at all. I just hope Bradford win.
I was very pleased to receive a telephone call this morning from Troy Butler. They allowed him out of hospital this morning. They gave him a thorough going over yesterday in Northampton General Hospital and discovered that he's got a crushed third joint of his vertebrae and a hairline crack in his fourth vertebrae. But they've decided that he's fit enough to be up and about, albeit he can't move very well, that it's better for him to try and recuperate with a bit of movement rather than stay with bed rest. When I spoke to him in Poland after the injury, the doctors over there said that he had to stay in a horizontal position for possibly up to 4 weeks. But luckily, the doctors over here have decided that he's a lot better than that. Although we've lost one Australian temporarily, I would like to welcome back our other Australian, Mark Carlson, who'll be appearing tonight for the first time for us, this season that is, and hopefully he'll go well. Thank you very much.
So somewhat of a gamble with Alan Ham, trusting Paul Thorpe with the number 3 jacket away from home, but it gives him an ultra-strong pairing up, 5 in 4 as they settle for race number 3. And Wig makes a good gate to the inside. Dugard gets in with it, round with him, but Tatum gets round the outside. Dugard links up with Wig as Tatum shows in for Wig. Tatum looks back to see Wig there with him. It's Dugard in third. Dean Barker at the back as they move into the pits corner on lap number 1. Wig slides it wide, coming off that pits corner, and Dugard's there with him. Barker follows him through. Good aggressive action by both his cheaters. Riders in him. Simon Wig has made the best gate. Now finding himself at the back at the moment, and Dugard nicely inside. Calvin Tatum there on that pits corner, and Barker follows him through. As Dugard then from Barker, Tatum in third, Wig at the back, and that really is tremendous riding by both the Oxford riders, because Wig and Tatum made the gate, but they're on the receiving end of a 5-1 at the moment. As Dugard shows then from Barker, it's Tatum in third, tremendous 5-1 for the cheaters now as they move on to lap 4. Dugard in the lead, Barker in second, Tatum losing contact at the back, and Simon Wig now told off at the back as they move into the pits corner.
Come on, what about a really big cheer for a big 5-1
there for Martin Dugard, second Dean Barker, third spot Calvin Tatum, and the rider who made the gate first of all, Simon Wig, finding himself at the back there in race number 3.
Well, who would have predicted that result after about the first bend? My goodness me.
You've had a very successful winter back in Australia, and you must be looking forward to your British League season back here at Oxford.
Yeah, well, you know, last year I had a lot of engine problems. This year I've changed to Goddens, and which I rode during the summer in Australia, and it was very successful, and I had no engine failures, at all compared to last year. So machine-wise, I should be well off, and if I can keep the form I had in Australia, I'd like to think I'll do a good job. You know, obviously tonight's going to be difficult. Bradford are a good team, and I haven't ridden for 2 months, so I just want to get tonight out of the way and then get a heap of practice in during the week, because I got till next Friday, and then hopefully we'll be ready to go for Oxford.
So an unbelievable scoreline of 26-10 at the moment. The riders coming into line for race number 7. So riders settling for race number 7. Clean break, and it's Dugard making a good gate. Tatum gets out with him, Wig in third, and Cunningham a little bit slow off the start, finding himself at the back at the moment. As once again Tatum and Wig have made the start. They have a 5-1 situation at the moment, but Dugard gets on the inside of Wig on that pit corner, sets about chasing Tatum again. As Tatum then from Dugard, Wig in closer, Tennant in third. These three pulling away from Glenn Cunningham as they make their way then the back straight once again. Tatum a bike length clear of Dugard. These two pulling away from Simon Wig. As Tatum slides it wide, coming off that pits corner. Dugard right back there with him now as they complete lap 2. Tatum wide in the top corner of the gap, and Dugard goes through on the inside. Tatum hits back round the outside, but Dugard gets back through again, and once again Martin Dugard has had to do it the hard way, coming right through from the back, and leads now on to lap number 4. Martin, tremendous stuff tonight. Each time you had to come through from the back, and you've done it in scintillating style.
Yeah, I'm having a good night. Track's very good. All the Oxford riders sort of really enjoying themselves tonight. Unfortunately, some of the Bradford riders aren't sort of appreciating the track conditions, but that speedway track conditions sort of come and go. Unfortunately, it's not to everybody's liking tonight, but I'm enjoying myself and I'm having a good night.
You obviously must be very pleased the way things have gone for you in the early weeks of the season.
Yeah, I'm having a sort of good start of the season, much better than I normally have. Hopefully it'll go right the way through till the end of this year.
Settling for race 14. Off already, green lights on. Away, and Wig makes a good gate. The three get Anderson and Barker get out with him. Wig
in the middle of an Oxford sandwich at the moment is Anderson trying to get inside Wigg. Wigg just that quicker line round the outside, but Anderson's right there with him again going into the pits corner. In fact, Anderson doesn't turn at all on that pits corner, gets a nasty twisting fall down there as Wigg shows then from Barker. It's Little in third, and Barker looking for line two on the inside of Wigg as they make the way to the back straight once again. Anderson back in the action. That looked like being his best run of the evening. He's really having a go at Wigg when he lost it on that pits corner. Wigg again goes wide, coming off the pits corner. Barker right back in there with him again on the top corner. Wigg rides mid-track. Barker looking for line through on the inside line. They almost touch there coming off that top corner. These two a long way clear of Kevin Little. As again Wigg slides it wide off the pits corner. Barker straightens up just the quicker. A bite between them now on to lap number 4. Still Wigg just seems to have the measure of Dean Barker at the moment as they make the way. Then the back straight once again. Little in third, looks at the Dukes will pick up the fourth. This one a late run by Barker up the inside, a race for the line, and I'll leave that one to the referee because it looked as if Wigg would take it, and then Barker came very, very late indeed, and I don't honestly know who did get that. So I'll leave that to the referee. Certainly Kevin Little is in third.
And you're standing there all waiting in anticipation. The result of heat number 14, the winner in red, Dean Barker.
Maybe 1 or 2 questions asked in the dressing room after this. Colin Tennant's won 1 race, Simon Wiggs won 1. None of the other riders have won a race for Bradford, and when you think the strength of that top 5, it really is an amazing statistic.
Yes, it's quite a problem. It's a very difficult job in England to try and maintain a full strength test team all the time. And with the conflicting speedway dates with the other Friday nights like Bellevue, we would have loved to have had Jason Lyons here. In actual fact, I was going to have him here because the boy has just moved to Bellevue, and it's quite a difficult decision. And I sort of half left it to him, even though I could have made the decision. He felt that he would like to ride for Bellevue, even though he would have loved to have ridden for Australia. And really, when I think of it now, I think maybe in future we'll have to be a little bit firmer, and we will have to have these riders here because the National Coal Products are sponsoring this, and we really have to put our best team forward.
Craig obviously looking to go pretty well tonight here back at Oxford.
Yeah, I hope to have a good meet. Just wait and see how it goes, I suppose.
Such as yourself, Shane Parker, Anneli Adams, under a lot of pressure tonight with the loss of so many key riders for Australia.
Yeah, well, I really think we're going to struggle, you know, especially without Todd and now Troy and Jason Lyons and Pearlie, you know, all our top ones really aren't here, so we'll have to try and do as best as we can.
Martin Dugard, gate 3 in Glendale. It really has been a big disappointment tonight. Just 1 point in his 3 starts, gate number 4. All 4 ready, green light comes on. Away, and Parker's made a good game, and Dugard's made it better. The red lights are on because Shane Parker clearly right across in front of Martin Dugard, Dean Barker. A little bit confusing tonight because Barker's in red with Dugard in blue, and referee John Homer rules a restart with all 4. Clearly Parker well across before the 30-yard mark. Heat 11 restart. Green lights back on again. Away, and Parker makes a good gate. Dugard gets out with him. Barker trying to barge away through on the inside line. Parker goes wide in that top one, takes it on, and Dugard once, and he covered the first one and made a bad mistake just going into the back straight. He's hurtling towards the fence a moment, as is Glenn Doyle, as Dugard gets through, and there goes Dean Barker following through. I don't quite know what happened there to Shane Parker. He just got a drop at the gate. He held back Dugard on the first corner and drifted right towards the boards. That was the chance that Martin Dugard was looking for. Dean Barker then followed him through on the pits corner. At the moment, it's yet another 5-1 to England. Eric, a good night for England, but not really too much action for the crowd to witness tonight.
Well, disappointing. That was probably the best race of the night because we did see an overtaking that race, but unfortunately the track, you know, I don't know if it's been watered too late, but it's certainly too wet. And of course it's very slick going into the corner, slippery, and the lads can't charge in because they don't know when the thing's going to stop. So they're all riding very cautious, they're all getting filled in. I mean, it will get better probably, there's a few more races, it'll dry out a bit, but it is far too wet.
Obviously Australia's chance is not helped with the loss of Todd Wilshire, Jason Lyons and Troy Butler. Was there a possibility it might have become an Australasia side with some of the New Zealanders coming in to make it a bit more competitive for England?
Oh no, I mean I think they lost Todd, obviously we know that, and they lost Troy. But I mean there's no reason why, in my opinion, why Jason Lyons shouldn't have been here. You know, we shielded Bellevue's fixture by leaving Joe Screen out, I see Peterborough racing at home tonight. They've got two of the best horses in Speedway. They're riding tonight. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no excuse whatsoever why they shouldn't have been here. You know, and why the Australian team hasn't picked them, I don't know. You know, it's just not on, is it, really?
So as the riders come out for race 18, I would think obviously the main interest now is whether Martin Dugard can get that full 18-point maximum. So they settle for action for the final race of the night. Green light comes on. Away, and it's Carlson making a good gate and leads into that top one. Dugard in second, Barker in third, Boyce at the back, and Dugard straightens up quickly on that top one. It comes alongside Carlson. Carlson leads him into the pits when Dugard cruising on round the outside. He's really gone wide. Carlson comes again, but Dugard just squeezes past him. It's Dugard then from Mark Carlson. It's Barker in third, Boyce at the back, and Mark Carlson found some form and somewhere in this last race of the year. Dean Barker's gone too wide on that pit scrum. Still he's just holding up his third place from Craig Boyce. As Dugard still from Carlson. Barker in third, Boyce taking close order on Barker, but Barker again straightens up the quicker and slangs on to his third as they make their way into the pit corner once again. Martin Dugard with a clear advantage now on to lap number 4, and Barker right there with Carlson. Barker's gone too wide in the top corner again. I thought he was going to come round Carlson, but he went too wide. I think he may have to settle for a third place in this film. It's going to be a full 18-point maximum coming up for Martin Dugard. It was 17, played 18 last week. It's a full 18 pointed tonight. He celebrates it with a wheelie. Second, Mark Carlson picking up his first points of the evening. Third place, Dean Barker, and many congratulations to Martin Dugard. Superb 18-point maximum here tonight.
Captain of the squad, Gary Havelock, what a sensational victory.
Yeah, it was fantastic, you know. Maybe Australia were a little bit weakened, but you know, you can't take anything away from the performance of these boys that come here tonight on a difficult track, and really show that they're all world-class riders, and hopefully we can turn that into some World Championship medals sometime this year.
I had sort of made a good few starts and put points where we needed them.
Well, you've certainly destroyed Australia tonight. Peterborough is the next test. Must be looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be good to see how fast or how quick everybody's equipment is. Obviously the Aussies got sort of everything sorted out from when they come from Australia, so that's going to be a close one, and with a bit of luck we should be able to sort of pull that one out of the bag as well.
We thank Colin Pratt and Eric Burkhardt, of course. Apparently. Can we have taxi? Oh.
What we're going to do is put the blade on, take all the dirt out towards the fence, so we ride on a fairly hard base, and hopefully that'll be raceable. So you know, it's going to be a little while, but hopefully we can get the meeting on the way.
I've got me now Swindon number 4, John Davis. John, a lot of work going on the track. Is it going to be difficult out there?
Yeah, you could say that. The parade was pretty difficult. Yeah, they're working hard on it, and I mean, it's unfortunately the weather's not very good at the moment, is it? But if we can give it a bit of time and they can turn it over, maybe the track will be okay. But I mean, it definitely wasn't okay early on. I know the Oxford supporters think we're probably moaning, but you've got to be realistic. Do you want to see riding around, or do you want to see racing? You know, I mean, Speedway's about racing, and if you can't see, you can't race. These people have paid good money to come in here, and I think they deserve to see racing.
With the makeup of the Oxford side this year, there's every chance you could become third heat leader, and that's obviously something for you to aim for this season.
Well, if I carry on riding the way I am going, you know, the average should stay up, and you know, would you give you a third heat leader spot?
There was talk in the winter you might be leaving Oxford. The way things are working out, you must be absolutely delighted that you stayed put here at Oxford.
Yeah, it takes a lot. You know, I've been here a couple of years now, and started to find my feet this year. Last year I had quite a good year, but it didn't go the way I wanted to. I changed the Jawas, this year, and I've got Dave Jessup doing my engine, and you know, they suit it here, and it's just been working good.
Here we go then, heat number 4 with Martin Dugard at gate number 1.
Jim Anderson on gate 2, Glenn Cunningham on 3, Phil Morris gate number 4. Heat 4 at the gate. Now just 2 the difference between the 2 sides as they settle for heat number 4. Anderson being called up in that 2 gate. Being held, a clean break, and it's Dugard making a good gate, but Anderson gets that corner first. Dugard in second, Cunningham in third. Phil Morris trying to get inside Cunningham, gets inside Cunningham to move through in the 3rd place. Anderson coming under pressure from Dugard. Morris again got the important 3rd. Cunningham trying to sweep round there, and Dugard trying to get inside Anderson, puts his front wheel ahead of Anderson, shoves Anderson out nicely on that first corner. Good aggressive ride there by Martin Dugard as Dugard shows from Anderson. It's Morris in 3rd, Cunningham trying to get round the outside. Morris to take that 3rd place. What a good job Phil Morris is doing for the races so far this morning. Again, he hugs the line, forces Cunningham right round the outside. Spectacular corner by Cunningham, but he's gone too wide, and Phil Morris hanging on to a safe 3rd at the moment. And Dave Mullet who really set the trend for the race this morning with the defeat of Hans Nielsen in heat 1, gate number 1. Alongside him in 2, we want to replace at Martin Dugard, winner last time out. In gate 3, Per Jonsson, and in gate 4, the impressive winner of heat number 3, Dean Barker. 4 riders settle for heat 5. Being held away, and Mullet again has had a tremendous escape from the inside line. Jonsson sweeps round the outside of Jordan. Barker hasn't made the best of starts, gets round Dugard to move through in the 3rd as Jonsson from Mullet. Barker trying to get round the outside of that pitch, as well line round the outside. Mullet trying to hit back on the inside. Good ride there by Dean Barker, nicely round the outside of Dave Mullet on that top one. Mullet goes too wide the top one, locks up, a chance to Dugard, look for an opening on the inside as Jonsson well away in front again. Mullet drifts from the inside to the out of the gaps there. Can Martin Dugard slip through? But at the moment he can't, as Jonsson still from Barker. Mullet in 3rd. It's Dugard somewhat surprised at the back to make the way into that pit corner once again. Dugard trying to cut back inside Mullet. Mullet keeps a much close line, forces Dugard to go around the outside. This is where the action is for this crucial 3rd place, and Mullet lifts a Lama leap on that top floor, left a huge gap, and there goes Dugard sailing through it. Can Mullet hit back on the inside? Per Jonsson wins it. 2nd, Dean Barker. 3rd place is Martin Dugard, and Dave Mullet, who led the race into the corner, was then passed by Dean Barker. Looked to have a safe 3rd there for 3 3/4 laps, then going in to that pitch corner on the final lap. He drifted out, Council grip went out really wide, and Dean Barker went Martin Dugard roared through for the crucial 3rd. So just 2 the difference at the moment, and obviously Oxford not only looking to win this morning, but to win, take a good lead for the 2nd leg at Smallmead this evening. The riders settle for 9. And it's Morton who makes a tremendous escape, and Anderson gets it with him. Morton leaves a little gap on the inside. Barker trying to get through as Morton locks it up on the inside of that top corner. He still needs Barker at bay. We've lost Glenn Cunningham with a sick bike at the back, and now we've got Ray Morton down on the floor on that pitch corner as Anderson shows in from Barker. Barker got to Anderson's sights now. Ray Morton remounts. He knows if he can keep it going, he's assured of at least the 3rd place position with Glenn Cunningham backing up at the back. It's Anderson then from Barker. Good hard ride there by Dean Barker. Saw him inside Ray Morton. He's got a lot to get now to the bar 6 experience, and Anderson and Leach down the back straight once again then. Anderson from Barker. These 2 a long way clear of Ray Morton. It's an important point if it stays this way. The racers will fall back level. But Barker getting very close to Anderson there. They move into that top corner, just a bite between them. It's Anderson riding mid-track. Barker looks like he's going for line round the outside, cuts back for an inside pass, trying to get inside. Anderson Barker in fact falls on the pit corner. Can he get there before Ray Morton gets past him? Barker quickly remounted. He's going to get the 2nd place. What a great ride there by Dean Barker. That was a tremendous effort because he got alongside Anderson, locked it up, came down, and then he quickly got to his feet. He managed to keep the bike running, and amazingly he got back on the bike, got it going, and finished 2nd still ahead of Ray Morton, who I think was just coasting round there for the 3rd place, and if he'd opened the spot a little bit more, may have snapped a 2nd. Morton Anderson on gate 1, Dave Mullet on gate 2, Martin Dugard gate 3, Per Jonsson gate number 4. again making a cracking gate for that 2-gate. Johnson sweeps round the outside to join him. It's Johnson on the outside, Mullet up the inside, and Martin Dugard in the back at the moment. Once again races back to major places into that Pitts corner. Johnson looks across, see Mullet still there with him. Johnson throttling back to allow Mullet to come up the inside and join him again, and now Dugard gets ahead of Morton Anderson, pushes Anderson out on that top corner. Now he's got a chance to get to Dave Mullet, who's having a job in fact to keep up with Per Jons at the moment. Jons on the outside, it's Mullet on the inside. Dugard again trying to get between them, goes properly trying on that top corner. Johnson blocks the outside, Mullet's got the into the track. Dugard trying to get inside Mullet, Mullet's left the gap up the inside. Good ride there by Martin Dugard. There wasn't really a gap, but he forced the gap there, forced Dave Mullet out. Mullet trying to come back on the inside line as Johnson now goes off and rides his own race. It's Dugard in second, Mullet in third, not too far behind Dugard. Morton Anderson at the back as they move into the Pitts corner, 44 times. Good win there for Per Johnson. The good back in second again there from Martin Dugard, and getting an important third, it's Dave Mullet. So the race, so they're not finished yet. They've got 1 or 2 problem heats to come later on in the match, but they've got a 4-2 there, which nudges them back ahead, and really are getting some cracking entertainment in this Bill Doyle Trophy meeting this morning. So coming into line then for Heat 15, the situation is Oxford have got to get a 5-1 to win the match. A 4-2 to Oxford, it's a draw. Racers get 3 or more, they have won this enthralling match this morning. So the racers put together the pairing, they've got the 5-1 in Heat 13 over Martin Dugard and Dean Barker. Heat 15 gate is going to be so crucial. Away, and Nielsen made a good gate from the 1 gate. Johnson gets out with him, and Nielsen takes Johnson wide. He's a terrific gap up the inside, and Dugard goes through. What a calculated ride there by Hans Nielsen. He took Johnson wider and wider and wider, and Dugard has gone for the gap that is left as Nielsen then from Dugard. Doncaster in third, Johnson at the back. And what a tremendous first corner there by Hans Nielsen, but Dugard now under pressure from Jeremy Doncaster for the second place position as Nielsen from Dugard. Doncaster in third, Johnson with it all to do at the back as they come on to lap number 4, lap number 3. Still Nielsen from Dugard. Nielsen looks across, sees Dugard some 10-15 yards behind him. It's Doncaster in third, Per Jons to the back, and that first corner was so crucial as they come on to lap number 4 this time. Nielsen still from Dugard, so after being behind virtually all for the match, Dugard locks it up on the middle of that top corner, but he's still hanging on to his second place position. So this pairing got a 5-1 in 4th, and they're going to race
come on then,
5-1 in 15. Hans Nielsen wins it. Second, Martin Dugard. Third spot, Jeremy Doncaster. The first corner was so crucial. Nielsen made the gate on the first corner. Johnson was on the outside. He was taken wider and wider and wider by Nielsen, and while he was being took out, Dugard was on the outside. Doncaster was on the outside as well, and Dugard saw his chance, that big gap up the inside, and came racing through 2 consecutive 5-1s, and Oxford wins.
And you know, if at all possible, you know, I'd like to be riding sort of tonight. But you know, obviously there's not going to be any way I can ride tonight. But you know, maybe Saturday or you know, even next week's meeting. And you know, I just really feel like I want to get back on a bike. You know, I feel great. It's just frustrating sort of walking around. You know, everybody telling you that you've got a back injury and you can't feel any problem. But you know, it's really annoying. And you know, I just hope to get back on a bike as quick as possible and you know, get back into my work really.
I think it's fair to say the boys have covered pretty well for you during your absence, and you're really going to have to pile on the points when you come back.
Well, I think that's probably why Oxford haven't been putting too much pressure on me, really. You know, I suppose if I get back in the team, we might start losing, but hopefully not. And, you know, I can sort of do what I was doing at the start of the year, where I was sort of scoring, you know, 6 or 8 points. And if I can sort of jump straight back in and do that, then I'll be quite comfortable in myself. And as long as my confidence keeps getting, you know, better and better at every meeting, then, you know, hopefully, you know, by the mid-term of the British League, I should be sort of well into the scoring positions and, you know, going quite well, and hopefully the team will be in the same position as well.
I know you're in the pits at Coventry on Saturday. It was a tremendous performance for the lads, and you must have been thrilled watching their performance again at Brandon on Saturday.
Well, I was glad that they were riding in the wet and it wasn't me, I think, in sort of some aspects. But, you know, obviously, you know, I've been sort of going to as many meetings as I can do, and, you know, like I say, it's just annoying to be standing on the other side of the fence and sort of watching people like Hans and Martin sort of take the rides. Really, I should have been doing myself. But, you know, I've been really surprised the way Dino's been going. And I think, you know, obviously Hans and Martin, you know, Martin's improved a hell of a lot, but I think Dino's probably improved the most.
from my eyes. I haven't sort of been here for a couple of years now, and I think, you know, just the way Dino's come on in the last couple of years has been great. And, you know, like I say, it's good for the team. It's not just that he's going to sort of, you know, there's going to be a fight between us sort of taking the third heat leader position, but it's just going to be great for Oxford all round. And the people that sort of said we didn't have much of a strong team to start with, I think, you know, we're going to sort of answer a few questions and just show them that we've probably really got as strong a top 5 as anybody, and, you know, hopefully finish right up there at the end of the year and, you know, maybe win the league.
Beaten Oxford Riders line up for heat 12, 6th the difference. Cheetahs still looking to stretch that to 10 to get the bonus point. As Jason Lyons, gate 1, unbeaten Hans Nielsen, gate 2, Joe Screen, gate 3, Dean Barker, gate number 4. Heat 12. At the gate, green lights on. Away, and Nielsen has made a tremendous gate for that 2-gate Screen, and Lyons got it with him. Screen goes to line round the outside. Nielsen goes water blocking Screen, trying to cut back for the inside line. There's a bite between them, and now Lyons coming under pressure and Barker for that 3rd place. Bristol all corner bunch as they complete lap number 1. It's Nielsen still from Screen. Lyons in 3rd. Lyons slides it wide in that top corner. Barker back to on the inside line, right in front of Jason Lyons, who almost came down there on that top corner. A good aggressive corner there by Dean Barker. As Nielsen from Screen, these two pulling away from Barker. Lyons now getting told off at the back, and down the back straight they go once again. 5-6 yards between Nielsen and Screen. He's certainly going to take some catching tonight. Here's Hans Nielsen. Barker in 3rd. Lyons to make no impression at the back. The Screen gets to Nielsen again. He's closed the gap down to a couple of 5 lengths. They roared on that back straight on lap number 4. Nielsen rides mid-track. Screen screws it on around the outside, but he's not going to get to Nielsen. Nielsen wins it. 2nd Joe Screen. 3rd place Dean Barker. That's an important 4-2 for the Cheetahs. Dean Barker loses his unbeaten tag, but he gets a crucial 3rd after a good race with Jason Lyons, and that now moves the Cheetahs into an 8-point advantage. So coming into line for 15, Shot, Nielsen, Screen and Dugard. Green lights on. Away, and Dugard lifts out of the start, but Nielsen made a good gate. Look to see who's out with him, and the answers Joe Screen, but Dugard dies inside Freddie Shot on that first score. He didn't make the best of starts, Dugard, but he's dying through for a 3rd place as Nielsen again coming under pressure and Screen for the advantage. Shot trying to get back around the outside Dugard. Nielsen there with Screen. Dugard still in 3rd. Shot at the back, and again Shot there. Joe Screen chasing after Hans Nielsen. Shot not finished with Dugard yet, trying to get back inside him on that pit squad. He forces Dugard wide on the pit squad and moves through in the 3rd. Dugard gets back around the outside line. There's again Screen trying to get inside Nielsen. He's right alongside Nielsen on that top corner, but Nielsen just a bike ahead of Screen. These two a long way clear of Martin Dugard. We've got 2 separate races at the moment. It's Nielsen being chased by Screen, and Shot trying to get around the outside of Dugard. Tremendous scrap for the lodge point in the back. A Shot was right round the outside of Dugard, but Dugard left Shot nothing at all on that top corner. Looks at Dugard, will get the 3rd place. A Screen, a late run for Nielsen, but Nielsen going to finish with a 15-point maximum tonight. 2nd there is Joe Screen. 3rd spot after a terrific scrap there with Freddie Shot is Martin Dugard. That's a 4-2 for Oxford. They get the win tonight. They also snatch the bonus point as well. Hans, 15-point maximum and the quickest time in Oxford so far this season tonight.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with 18 either. No, I was pleased with that. The track was very good tonight, and you know, his team performance. I mean, especially Dean and Martin was really scoring the points, and it's a good meeting. But nice to get away with 3 points from that.
You seem to be making terrific starts again tonight.
Yeah, it's you know, I rode a brand new bike tonight almost. I just done 1 meeting, and you know, it's getting out the starts very good, and you know, hopefully we can get them all going like that, and that's pleasing.
Glenn Cunningham, 3 points tonight. A little bit happy with your return tonight.
Yeah, I was a little bit happier with the first 2 rides. Then, unfortunately, carb fell off in my 3rd ride, and well, I failed to score in the 4th, but I was a lot happier.
I should imagine with the bank holiday weekend, you'll be busy on the grass tracks again this weekend.
No, I'm not actually this weekend.
Were you pleased with your performance at Long Eaton in the British Junior Championship last week?
Not really, because I just wasn't making the starts. It was a very slick track, and well, I wasn't making the gates, and so I only scored 5. I feel I should have done better, really.
Pleasing performance for the Cheetahs at Coventry, and you chipped in with useful points again at the tail end.
Yeah, I scored a few points, 3 paid 4, which I was also happy with.
Thanks a lot, Glenn. Mark, better night for you tonight. 4 third places starting to settle back in Oxford at the moment.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't really call 4 third places a good night, but for some reason I'm finding it very difficult to get settled in this year, whereas last year I had probably had a couple of meetings at reserve which helped out, but at the moment I'm struggling to get into a rhythm. I'm not really feeling comfortable, but I'd like to think this won't go on for too long.
And obviously looking forward to riding for Australia in the second test at Peterborough later on next month.
Well, to be honest, I hope I'm not really picked for that meeting because, well, if I'm riding like the way I am at the moment, I don't think I deserve to be picked, so... But I would like to think I'm not really in that meeting because it's only 2 days before the Commonwealth final, so it's probably not a real good move.
Martin Dugard. Martin, first of all, congratulations. Superb, paid 18-point maximum at Coventry on Saturday, and now looking forward to the British semi-finals at Cradley on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I'm hoping to shift that by Sunday. Yeah, I've got everything all worked out, all ready to go. I'm with Hans and Dino in Denmark on Friday, and then we're back to Kingston Saturday evening, so I'm trying to get everything all sorted out for Sunday, so we're looking forward to it, and hopefully we should be able to qualify.
You go.
Yano to call then for David. Probably all heard that. Yano 3, Hans has decided to take in heat number 1.
Graham Brodie in charge tonight. As the starting marshal moves away, and Nielsen absolutely flies out that one gate. Hancock gets there with him. McNamara pretty slow away and goes straight into the back of Carlson on the top corner. Scott Smith on gate 1, Glenn Cunningham on gate 2, Mark Robinson gate 3, and Morton Anderson gate number 4. Morton, of course, missed the match at Kingston away on World Championship qualifying rounds in Denmark. Away, and it's Cunningham, mega good gate for the inside. Smith gets out with him, and Smith moves Cunningham over on that top corner. Cunningham goes wide and stops Smith, in fact turns it completely round, and then Glenn Cunningham is forced onto the grass to miss him. So drama again upon that top corner. Gate 3 is Troy Butler, and in gate 4, Yellow Pedersen. 4 riders settled for heat number 3. By Graham Brodie, Hamburg making a good gate. Barker gets in the trials for Holden inside of Hamburg, and down goes Pedersen on that top corner, more or less in exactly the same place as what the other riders had done. Troy Butler on his return to the Oxford side tonight, gate number 3. 3 riders settle away, and Barker's made a good gate to the inside. Pedersen gets out with him, all 3 abreast on that top corner, and Pedersen goes out, and now Pedersen falls in more or less the same place upon that top corner. He went out to get a bit of grip, a bit of drive on the outside, and has come down in the same place again. And this time the yellow and black exclusion light goes on, so Cradley are going to have no rider in the restart of race number 3. So we've got Martin Dugard second in the British semi-final at Cradley on Sunday, gate number 1. Billy Hamill first, ride of the evening, gate number 2. In 3, Glenn Cunningham, and in gate 4, the winner of heat number 2, Mark Robinson. 12-5 to the Cheetahs at the moment, as the 4 riders settle for heat 4. Dugard, Hamill, Cunningham and Robinson away, and Dugard's made a good gate from the inside, and Hamill gets out with him. Cunningham goes to line round the outside. Hamill on that top corner, and Hamill keeps a nice tight line as Dugard shows from Hamill. Cunningham in third, Robinson at the back, and Hamill looking the line through on the inside. Dugard coming off that pitch corner, but Dugard again has got the speed round the outside line. Dugard is this time, it's his turn to go out towards the fence, and Hamill goes out towards the fence with him. We've lost Mark Robinson in exactly the same place again. Mark Robinson is down. In fact, it is the yellow light that's on for Mark Robinson, who's down, and again in exactly the same place. So once again, Cradley are excluded from the heat.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after referee Mr. Graham Brodie has inspected the track along with 2 team managers, and his decision is to call off the meeting. He considers the track is not safe to ride on.
Anderson. It's the second one of the evening, gate 1. Josh Larson, gate 2. Mark Carlson, gate 3. Troy Pratt again finding himself with gate number 4. Anderson makes a good gate for the inside, but Pratt again right round the outside of that top corner. Exactly the position he came from his last outing. Larson getting the action, well, they're all four in a bunch moving into that pits corner. Pratt shows Anderson, Carlson third, Larson at the back as they complete lap 1. Pratt from Anderson, and Larson again trying to get inside Carlson. That top corner gets inside Carlson and move from the third, and the Rainbow 6 reserves dim and proud here this evening as Pratt still with the advantage over Anderson. Anderson now receiving the attention of Josh Larson as they complete lap 2. Carlson still at the back. Larson again won't move up the line again, looking at opening up the inside. Anderson moved a bit wide on that corner. Larson's right there with him now, trying to force the gap on the inside line. He's moved Anderson over on that pits corner, and Larson moves through in the second. So the Arena Essex reserves doing a fine job at the moment. Looks if Morton Anderson real trouble again. That top corner goes much too wide, and so the Hammers are going to hit back with their first hit advantage. It's a second hit advantage, in fact, the maximum one coming up as Troy Pratt wins it. Second, Josh Larson. Third place, Morton Anderson. And what a fine job both Pratt and Larson are doing for the Hammers tonight. That's 8 out of 9 for Troy Pratt so far. 4 riders settling for Heat 10. 27 apiece, crucial Heat 10 at the tapes. And Moggridge had made a good gate from the inside. Nielsen has made the best of start, finding himself in third place on that first corner as Moggridge shows in for Larson. Larson's gone wide. Nielsen switches attack to an inside line, moves through in a second as Moggridge shows in for Nielsen. Larson third, calls to the back. We've got some action now as Moggridge still shows in from Nielsen. Nielsen tries to attack around the outside of that top corner. Moggridge goes wide to block him. Larson trying to get back at Nielsen as Moggridge still then from Nielsen. Larson closes tennis in third. It's Coles at the back and still Moggridge holds Nielsen at bay as they can complete lap number 2, and Larson turns trying to get inside Nielsen. Nielsen keeps a tight line that top corner. Still Moggridge with a 5-6 yard advantage as Moggridge then for Nielsen is Josh Austin close tennis in third. Nielsen screws it on round the outside of that pits corner. Bite between them now as still Moggridge with the advantage. Nielsen again flicks to an outside line, might get round the outside of Moggridge. Moggridge goes wide to block Nielsen coming round the outside. It's interesting last corner. Moggridge on the inside. Nielsen screws on round the outside. Superb race for there for Hans Nielsen.
What about that?
Second, Alan Moggridge. Third place, Josh Larson, and some cracking speedway there in race number 10. Four orders settle away, and his cargo made a good gain. In fact, the tape, I don't think the tapes have gone up properly because Moggridge has left up the tape. So settling for 14, Pratt, Anderson, Johansson and Butler. Green lights on away, and Pratt's made a good gate for the inside. Johansson's got out with him, and Butler screws it on round the outside of that top corner. Tries to get round Johansson, gets round Johansson, and Morton Anderson slipped on the inside as well. Good ride there by Butler and Anderson. They both got, one got inside, one got outside of Johansson. As Pratt coming under pressure, Anderson stormed inside Pratt on the inside of that top corner. Pratt back round the outside, and Butler trying to follow him round. It's Pratt then from Anderson. It's Butler in third. These three in a bunch. Johansson also in close attendance. They come and complete lap number 2. Still Pratt from Anderson. Now Butler moves back to the second, trying to get round the outside. Pratt in that top corner. Anderson trying to line back on the inside line. Johansson losing contact at the back as they move into the pits corner on lap 3. Pratt from Butler. Anderson in third. Johansson now coming back into contention, chasing hard off that third place. He's gone too wide on the top corner. He's lost any chance of getting to Morton Anderson now as Troy Pratt comes through for his third winning ride of the evening. Second is Troy Butler. Third place, Morton Anderson. 3 apiece, and Oxford have got that 4-point cushion going into the last heat, and it's going to be very interesting to see who Peter Thorogood uses in the nominated riders race. So Troy, looking forward to it. Probably a tough match tonight.
Certainly, yeah. Obviously, without hands, I think every match we come up against now is going to be hard. Certainly somebody that can score 15 or 18 points a meeting, is definitely a disadvantage to our team. But, we sort of held them quite strongly at Wolverhampton on Monday, so hopefully we can do a little bit better, tonight on our home track.
This is the second season when guests have been banned, apart from if you've got 2 riders out. Obviously, it's extra rides, extra money for you, but do you feel that the team will be better, really, with the guests for hands tonight?
I think so, yeah. I mean, especially for the, supporters' point of view, it's a weakened team, really. Obviously, the boys get a little bit more tired, the engines get a lot tireder, and you know, it puts a lot of strain on the rest of the team. And like I say, you know, if we can get a guest in that can probably score 10 or 12 points, and you know, it's going to make it easier for the whole team on a whole, and you know, it gives us the chance to sort of concentrate on our own rides, you know, let alone, you know, a few other rides, and you know, it just really helps out the team. And like I say, for a spectator point of view, it really sort of disadvantages the team that sort of can't use ride replacement.
On a personal point, top score with 10 points at Wolverhampton. That's a hard track to ride against a hard team. You must have been pleased with that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I wasn't really. You know, it's always nice to score points around Wolverhampton, no matter how many you get, I think. But you know, I was a little bit sort of. I didn't feel fit enough to be riding, and you know, I just felt a little bit tired, and I don't know whether it was the hot weather that was sort of getting to me. My wrists were pumping up and that, so you know, I really wasn't riding to the best that I thought I could have rode it, and you know, I just felt sort of under the weather a bit. I don't know why. It was just I just didn't feel fit enough to be riding, and you know, although I did, you know, ride sort of quite a ride, I felt tired, you know, halfway through races and stuff, and really it's a bad way to sort of start a meeting and stuff. So, but you know, hopefully, you know, I can sort of repeat the same performance I did there without sort of, you know, feeling the effects of being under fitness, I think.
The captain of the tabletop in Wolverhampton Wolves, Samuel Malenko. You've walked the track, you've had a big team talk. Looking forward to tonight's match.
Yeah, a little team talk. I think all of our guys are little guys now. We just got Richard Musin, and he's only up to my elbow, so we call it a little team talk.
Once again, a tremendous performance by the Wolves. You're not rated the strongest side on paper, but yet again, you're putting the results together.
Well, we work hard, and you know, we walk the track, and we've weighted up, and we kind of feel, you know, what the track can give us and not give us, and we just got to get in the pits now and work it all out. Everybody's pretty keen, and it's a nice night for racing. The track looks beautiful, and we'll give it a go.
Stephen Morris, gate number 1, of course, brought in to keep Wolverhampton under the 47-point limit, coming in with an assessed 2-point average at one of their journeys of last season. He's on gate 1. Glenn Cunningham on gate 2. Richard Musson signed today, gate 3. Morton Anderson, gate number 4. As they settle in for heat 2, away, and Morris makes a tremendous gate, but lifts out of the start. It's Cunningham who gets out, and it's Morton Anderson who gets out with him, and Oxford 1-2 on the back straight on lap number 1, then Cunningham on the inside, Anderson round the outside. It's the spectacular Richard Musson in 3rd place, and Stephen Morris, who made the best get of all for the inside line, but couldn't keep the front wheel down, and at the back of the moment with his Musson again spectacularly into that top corner. Obviously a little bit stale, I think, on the Speedway. He's been riding some grass track meetings, but hasn't rode too many Speedway matches late, and he leg travels his way out of that pits corner, but still the Tudors in a 1-2 situation. Anderson shows them and Cunningham, but Musson goes through a gap, and down goes Cunningham. That's an interesting one for Reg Trott, as Musson shows in from Morton Anderson. The red lights are on. The red lights are on, and at the moment there is a red exclusion on there for Glenn Cunningham. It was an interesting run. There was a gap on the inside. Richard Musson.
That race was stopped in interest of safety. It'll be rerun without the rider in red. It was to stop it.
Glenn Cunningham excluded there by Reg Trott as the primary cause of the stoppage. There was a gap which Richard Musson went through, but he did seem to touch him as he went through.
May have noticed we're playing one or two oldies tonight. In fact, our co-promoter Kevin Headley came up with the tape tonight. He dusted off some of his old 45s from the 50s and 60s and said, play this. So there we are. It's Kevin Headley's fault if you don't like it, or if you do like it, why not let him know? We'd be very happy to continue with this if you want us to, or we can go back to what we normally play.
Settling in for heat number 5. Away, and it's Butler making a good gate, but Ermolenko slips inside him, and Corrie rounds but moves round the outs as well, and Butler and the Wolverhampton sandwich there as Ermolenko went inside him, and Corrie moved outside him. Butler trying to get back round the outs of Ermolenko on that pits corner as Corrie shows in from Ermolenko. Butler and Barker in close attendance there with Ermolenko. It's really tight. The second, third and fourth is Butler trying to get round Ermolenko. Barker's trying to barge away through on the inside line, but still Ermolenko grimly hanging on the second. It's Butler back round the outside to retake second again. Ermolenko comes again, but Butler bravely back round the outside, and Barker's trying to get the challenge on Ermolenko now again as they make their way down the back straight once again. Corrie's away at the front. It's Butler still in second. Ermolenko in third. Barker at the back and moving for line round the outside of Ermolenko coming off that pits corner, but Ermolenko in turn right back there with Troy Butler. Now he's under pressure again. from Dean Barker. In fact, Barker falls on the top corner. He just made the move to go in Ermolenko, and he falls on the top corner. So it looks like yet another 4-2 coming up for Wolverhampton. The third on the trot as Ronnie Corrie wins it. Second is Troy Butler. Third place, Charles Ermolenko. How is the injury going at the moment?
Well, it's been a bit painful, but not too bad. We're just waiting for it to knit together. I've had some treatment with some magnetic fields and laser treatment and so on, and going for another checkup on Monday, and then hopefully it has started to knit together, and hopefully another couple of weeks we can be out riding again.
Obviously, you're badly missed by the Cheetahs tonight. You've been watching a lot of the action from the centre green. Your thoughts on tonight's match?
Well, yeah, it's terrible just to stand out there and you can't do a thing about anything, but it's a good meeting so far. It's very close. Of course, Wolverhampton is a very good team. I thought, by looking at the result, they did quite well at Wolverhampton on Monday, and obviously it's a pity I could have been there as well, but they're a pretty solid team, Wolverhampton, but, we've seen some gutsy riding by Troy and Morton tonight. I think Dini was probably a little bit shaken still from Monday night's crash, but if he gets going as well, then I think we still stand a good chance to win this.
News on yourself. All 4 riders on 2 minutes. You'll obviously be very pleased that you are in fact seeded through to the Nordic final.
Yes, obviously that would have been a real blow if I had gone out of the World Championship this early, but the Danish Motor Federation has always kept this one place open if somebody got injured, so I'm pleased I'm in there still. And now, obviously, I just hope I can get a few meetings in before the Nordic final as well.
It must have been a very eventful meeting. You got injured, so did Jan Pedersen, so did Lars Gunnestad.
Yes, it started off with Jano and Peter Ron crashing in one of the earlier races, and the track was, it was smooth, but it was slick, and they, obviously being a hot afternoon, they had to water in between races, and in one of the corners, Peter Ron got out a little wide and hit the slick stuff, and Jano was behind him, and Peter sort of locked up, and Jano couldn't miss him, so that was unlucky. But then later on, when we crashed, it wasn't really anything to do with the track, I don't think. I think it was mainly just bad luck. Lars Gunnestad lifted a bit coming out the second bend. He went into Peter Ron, and I was coming from behind on the outside and couldn't miss him when they bounced off the fence. So, yeah, it was a bad day, but, I couldn't really just blame the track only, I don't think.
All riders on 2 minutes. Your thoughts on the Jan Pedersen incident? It's obviously, if he is going to be out for 18 months, it's a terrible blow and could possibly be the end of his career.
Well, it's terrible, yeah. It was really sort of ripped the benefit of being world champion this year, and now it's all over for this year, and that's a great pity. And of course, mainly for himself, but also it's a shame for the team and the pairs as well. Obviously, we're going to miss him badly, so a blow altogether. But obviously, the main thing now is that he has had an operation and he's been successful, and he's not obviously he's not going to be. Have any problems with movements in legs or anything, so no periodization, so he, that is at least good news, but of course it's a blow for his career.
A race that could well decide the outcome, I think, because probably the certainly not 4 out of 5 of the best riders in view in this race number 12. Oxford vitally needing a heat advantage, was going to take a good rider to beat Sam Ermolenko tonight. Anyway, Carlson comes into 1, Dugard into 2, Ermolenko into 3, Butler into gate 4. Heat 12 at the gate. Away, and it's Carlson making a good gate, but Dugard makes a better one. Dugard gets the corner first, takes Ermolenko wide. Wally's taking Ermolenko wide. Carlson slips from the inside line. Dugard and Carlson shoulder to shoulder into that pit score. Now Carlson takes Dugard wide. Dugard cuts backward inside line, and Butler slipped inside Ermolenko. Ermolenko amazingly at the back as Dugard gets back inside Carlson. Carlson back round the outside of Dugard. Tremendous race between these two, and Butler now coming under pressure from Ermolenko. 2 separate races as Dugard chases up to Carlson. Ermolenko going after Butler, and Dugard almost gets inside Carlson. Ermolenko's got round the outside of Butler to move from the third, and 82 sets about chasing Dugard as Carlson shows Empen Dugard. Ermolenko in third, Butler at the back. As into the pits corner once again, Carlson on the inside, Dugard trying to get back round the outside, and Dugard almost turned himself inside out coming off that pits corner, and the Ermolenko's right there with him now as Carlson shows in from Dugard. Ermolenko right alongside Dugard coming off that top corner. They bunch up again going into the pits corner as Dugard goes to line round the outside of Peter Carlson, but Peter Carlson wins it. Second, Martin Dugard. Third place, Sam Ermolenko. Terrific action there.
That was a tremendous race. Well, giving all the riders a tremendous cheer. That was really speed.
And a little bit of nastiness there after that race between Peter Carlson and Martin Dugard, and still the aggravation continues into the pits. And what a sad way for what was a terrific speedway race to end.
Win in yellow-black for Peter Carlson. His winning time. His Willie time, 61 seconds exactly. Second in red was Martin Dugard, and third in white, Sam Ermolenko. That was a 2-4 then. It's now 31 to the Cheetahs and 40 to the Wolves. The time once again, 61 seconds exactly.
What was the outcome of that little lot then, Mike? Anybody been fined? Oh, rather fortunate then. Rather fortunate not to be, I would have thought. Account gate 2, unbeaten Hans Nielsen gate 3, and Greg Hancock on the trot gate number 4. Before on the settle for heat 10. Away in Nielsen made a good gate in the 3 gate. Hancock gets it, Nielsen just gets the corner first, takes Hancock one, leads a gap up the inside. Hancock slips through ahead of Nielsen. Nielsen trying to get back round Hancock as Hancock shows them for Nielsen. Carlson third, these already clear of Mark Meredith as they come on to complete lap number 1. Hancock round the outside, Nielsen goes to speed round the outside of that top corner, cuts back for an inside line, he's a couple of bikes still, and Hancock going to make the way down the back straight once again. Hancock still for Nielsen, Nielsen tries speed round the outside, cuts back again for an inside move, he's right alongside Hancock again, gets inside Hancock on that top corner. There's Nielsen then from Hancock. It's Carlson third, superb action there from Hans Nielsen. Hancock back pressurising him again on the inside of that turf pits corner as Nielsen leads on to lap 4, Hancock in second. It's Carlson in third. Just down the back straight they go once again. Superb right there by Hans Nielsen, showing he's lost in the mid-shift, brilliant test of his layoff with the injury. So Simon Cross in gate number 1. It's Dean Barker gate 2, Greg Hancock gate 3. Either Hancock or Hamill seems to be in virtually every race so far tonight. They've got 25 of the 30 that the Heathens have got. Simon Cross has got 4 of the other 5, so it really does tell its own story tonight. And across on gate number 4, 3 winning rides so far, Martin Dugard. Settling then for heat number 13, away, and Dugard's made a good gate in the 4 gate. Hancock gets it, Hancock gets the corner first. Dugard goes for speed around the outside, cuts back for an inside move. It's Hancock with the advantage in the back straight on lap number 1, and Barker battling it out there with Cross for third and fourth positions. As Hancock leads completing 1, it's Dugard in second, and Cross gets round the outside, Barker to move for the third. Barker gets back inside Cross, but Barker goes wide coming off that top corner. Cross gets back inside him, and Dugard's now starting to close up on Hancock as Hancock shows then from Dugard. Cross wide again coming off that pits corner. Barker right back there with him at third place, 2 separate races, with Dugard pushing up to Hancock, and Barker and Cross battling at 8 for the odd ball in the back. Barker gets back inside Cross, Cross gets back round him again going into that pits corner again. Cross slides it wide coming off the pits corner, a chance for Barker to get back up the inside, which he does, but Cross gets back round him again. These two again shoulder to shoulder into the top, and this time Barker gets the advantage over Cross. Cross again won't deny, gets back round the outside. Barker, what tremendous action with third and fourth positions as Greg Hancock wins it. Second, beaten for the first time tonight, is Martin Dugard.
What about that race, ladies and gentlemen? Worth the price of admission on its own. Tremendous
place, it's Simon Cross, and you've got to give it to Simon Cross because he's took his fair share of knocks again this season. He would not be denied, he kept battling away virtually all the way around the outside. Time and time again he passed and repassed there with Dean Barker, and as I saw it, it was Simon Cross who got the third place on the line. So settling for heat 15 as Barker comes up in the line. Someone's bike not standing too clever to me on that starting gate. as they settle for heat 15. Away, and Hamill screams out of that number 2 gate. Hancock gets out with him on the outside line. Hamill doesn't look back to see where the opposite. He looks on the inside and sees Barker, then looks back and sees Hancock going round the outside. Barker trying to get on the outside of Hancock, was forced wide there by teammate Hamill, as Hamill shows Edmund Hancock, who now gets ahead of Barker. Barker trying to get back inside Hancock and trying to have a go at Hamill as well, but Hamill closes Barker right back down on that top corner, allowing Hancock to squeeze back round the outside. We've got some good action this nominated riders race, as Hamill then from Hancock hits Barker in third, trying to get back at Hancock again for that second place position. Paulson at the back, as down the back straight they go once again. Hamill from Hancock, offering close attendance in third again, trying to get inside Hancock, coming off that Pitts corner. But it's Hamill who shows when Hancock, and Barker gets inside Hancock, relegating Hancock to third. Hancock trying to cut back inside Barker on that top corner. There's Hamill then from Barker, Hancock in third, Coles at the back, and good action in heat number 15. Looks at Barker's left, look the American duo as Billy Hamill wins it. Second Dean Barker, third place Greg Hancock, and that 4-2 ensures that Craigley have got the bonus point tonight.
And another very good race to finish the match off with.
Thanks a lot, Troy. Mark, a few extra points for you tonight and the nominated riders race.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably just to give me some more practice to try and get me going. So I'm still 4 points isn't really good enough, but I wouldn't say I rode bad tonight. But the bikes are a lot better, but I just can't get the points I need.
Alistair Stevens back at your old stomping ground here at Cowley, Oxford, but this time riding for Poole.
Yeah. You got to start again with it. I can't do it.
It's one for the outtakes, isn't it? Yeah. Well,
can we just go somewhere? Can we move?
You sit on your bike, you're okay, no problem. God dear, temperamental superstars, unbelievable. Alistair Stevens to return to Cowley. You used to ride for Oxford, but this time riding for Poole. Let's face it, you know your way around the track.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be quite exciting tonight. Hopefully put one over on Poole.
Well, you've had... Well, yeah, I mean, you can put one over on Poole if you like, but I'm sure the Poole guys would prefer you to ride well for them.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, how are things going in Denmark for you?
It's going quite well. I had the first meeting was not so good, but it's getting better and better, and I have a good average in Denmark now, so...
Well, we spoke to you at the beginning of the year, and they said, OK, Morten, it's your first proper full season, although you rode out for Swindon last year just for a few meetings. Got an awful lot to learn. Do you think you are learning things?
I'm learning things every time I'm riding over here. I'm learning a lot of things every time, so there's a lot of learn still, so...
Well, there is. You're never going to learn it overnight. One thing that the supporters probably very rarely see is when you come back into the pits, and even though you've won a race, you're disappointed. I mean, what goes on?
I don't know, maybe it's the way I am, because I always wanted to be better. And maybe I think it's good to be like that, because if you are satisfied, you're not coming any longer, I think.
So self-improvement through your own criticism, saying, I've got to do better, I must try harder.
Yeah.
So you get more sponsorship in Denmark than in the United Kingdom?
Yeah, I don't have any sponsors over here. It's Danish sponsors, all of them.
But maybe one day that you can sort of rebalance that and British sponsors will come forward when they start seeing you improve.
I hope so.
Yes, I bet you do.
All riders settle for heat number 7. Dean Howard and the tapes in fact don't. The riders on the inside get away, but the riders on the outside, that's of course Craig Boyce and Martin Dugard left at the start as both Graham
malfunction at the gate there. The referee rules that, of course,
Graham Reeves rules unsatisfactory start, and they restart with all four. So back in the line they get heat 7 away at the second time of asking. Lee Adams on gate 1, Ray Morton on gate 2, Craig Boyce gate 3, and Martin Dugard gate number 4. Howard, and it's Morton in fact who makes a good gate. Boyce gets it with him, and Dugard really gets a hard first corner and finds himself with the back as Boyce shows them for Morton. Adams in third, and Martin Dugard now with it all to do. They're bunching up the second, third and fourth position, and Adams all looks as he was coming down. He went from the inside to the outside, badly interfered there with Martin Dugard. The race continues, and it leaves Craig Boyce clear at the front. Still Morton in second, Adams in third, Martin Dugard now with a tremendous amount to do at the back after almost being brought in on that to Pitts corner. Boyce former County favourite, still shows in from Morton. Now coming under pressure from the Adams. Martin Dugard getting back into the thick of the action, gets inside Adams on that pitch corner. Adams gets back inside him, really got some action here. And Adams gets inside Morton, relegates Morton to third. Can Martin Dugard following through. They move on to lap forward. Boyce Walker at the front, Slavens in second, Morton in third. And there Dugard tries an outside one of Ray Morton on that top corner, cuts back for the inside. Luger's got the action for the odd point of the back. Morton on the outside, and Martin Dugard goes barging through on the inside line as Craig Boyce wins it. Secondly Adams, third place it's Martin Dugard, and some good action there in race number 7. And all the drama on that pitch corner when Lee Adams on the inside line looked for a moment if he was going to catch the curb, slipped out towards the outside, and that badly interfered there with Swindon. Oxford's Martin Dugard. Heat number 8 at the tapes. Puts on the green light, starting Marshall moves away, all of it anxious, and it's Castagna making a good gate. Nielsen gets caught up in the tapes, Langdon's left at the gate, and once again there's problems with the starting gate, mainly on the outside of the starting gate it seems to be.
Obviously more problems with the gate
on the outside line being left at the tapes, and obviously in the restart with 4-4. So they come back into line to get heat 8 away at the second time of asking then. Castagna on 1, Shearer on 2, Nielsen 3, Langdon on 4, away in Shearer, and again we've got problems with the gate. Again the inside riders get away, again the riders on 3 and 4 are left at the start, and we really have got to get this starting gate sorted out. That's the third time, once in heat number 7, now in twice in heat number 8.
Obviously we're having a problem with the gate, and to allow a little bit of time to sort this one out, we're going to have the interval now. So if you'd like to go and refresh yourselves in either the bars or the refreshment kiosks, and bear with us for about 10 minutes, and then we shall get the racing back underway. So the interval will be taken now. Just to repeat, that was the first of the reserves race. My apologies for beginning with the wrong riders there. Right, the winner of that one was Phil Morris in white in a time of 59.5 seconds. Second in red, Morten Andersen, and third in blue, Alistair Stevens. Time of that one, 59.5. I beg your pardon, yes, we're getting this all wrong tonight, aren't we? Yes, of course, it's not Phil Morris, it's Gary Sweets, beg your pardon. Try and get it right in the next reserves race, which in fact will come up after heat number 8. Right, we'll start again, we're giving you the result of that race. I've just been qualified there. I think I'll go home now. Right, the winner in yellow and black was... Right, Christine Standing, yes. Apologies to all the Swindon fans here. Right, second in red, I think I've got that one right, haven't I? Yes. Morten Andersen, and third in blue was Alistair Stevens.
Time at the moment, the Robins in front with 19, the Cheetahs 16, Pirates 14, and once again Reading find themselves in the back with 11 points, despite the great effort by Per Jonsson. So they settle then for heat number 11. Away, and Cox has made a good gate for the inside. Castagna gets it with him. Dugard trying to barge his way around the outside of the children to make the way to the back straight once again. Castagna shows that he's left a gap on the inside. Dugard goes right through on the inside line. Castagna in second. It's Cox in third, and that's who they can put in lap number 1. Dugard from Castagna, Cox again trying to get inside Castagna, trying to get inside Dugard at the same time. We've got some good action here as Dugard shows from Cox. Castagna trying to get back round the edge of Cox. Kellyman at the back as they come on to lap number 2. It's still just Dugard from Cox, and now Kellyman has slipped from the third place. Will they get in Amanda Castagna to the back? He's dropped from second and last. Now Cox has got inside Dugard. Dugard back round the edge of Cox. These two shoulder to shoulder into that pits corner. Cox on the inside gives Dugard a shove. Dugard trying to cut back inside Cox, and the former Oxford favourite still has the advantage over Martin Dugard there. Well on to the last lap now as Cox then from Dugard running for the Martin. Cox has worked his way through, right through from third to leading position in this heat number 11, and some superb speedway in heat number 11 as Marvin Cox wins it. Second is Martin Dugard, third place Kelly Moran. That really was cracking action there in race number 11. Amanda Castagna was in the thick of the action for the first 2 laps, then Kelly Moran went by him. Nice to see Cox and Dugard shaking hands after a terrific
and
stop
another
there
tremendous
in race
race
11.
there in heat number 11, which was won in blue by Marvin Cox.
Interesting to see who gets the rider of the night, because of course nobody's going to go through this meeting unbeaten. So very much interested to see who is selected. Easy to see that Hans Nielsen just win so far from his 3 starts. He settled in gate 1, Adams in gate 2, Jons, Cox gate 3, Jons in gate 4. Away they go, this Nielsen on the inside. Adams goes to speed round the outside of that top corner, comes alongside Nielsen, but Nielsen rises with him. Cox goes barging through, gives Adams is shoved there. We've got some good action here. And Marvin Cox once again featuring the main action. Johnson's followed Cox through that gap. So it's Lee Adams has dropped back from second to last. As Nielsen shows in from Cox. Johnson in third, and good action again in heat number 16. As it's Hans Nielsen, Marvin Cox, who really has been in the thick of the action all evening and pushing hard after Hans Nielsen in this one, but still Nielsen with the advantage over Cox.
Yeah. Is it on video? You want to keep it? Get the lad in the middle. Get the guy in the middle, that's it. Boy.
Dave, probably your most successful season so far in British League Division 1 Speedway.
Yeah, I think so, without a doubt. I'm enjoying myself very much this year. I'm nowhere near as nervous as I have been. It's probably because I've been getting a few points. Looking forward to it tonight.
You waited a long time for your first England cap, and you must have been very, very pleased with your performance at Reading when you eventually got it.
Yes, that's right. The top score there with 14 points. I was very pleased with it. My form this year at home has been extremely good, so you know, I thought I could get a few. The team didn't look exceptionally strong like the Americans do and the Swedes do, so you know, I would have been disappointed if I didn't get a lot.
Turning to tonight, very impressive first leg performance by Reading. If you don't win tonight, you must be confident defending the big lead that you've got.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, we're going just to come away sort of like overall winners. Obviously, we're all going to be giving it 100%, but you know, we're not going to be doing silly things tonight, or we hope we're not.
An Oxford rider back off the injured list. Dean Barker, are you 100% fit for tonight's match?
Well, you know, I've still got problems with my chest, it hurts still, but, you know, I'm more or less 100%, that's not going to affect me.
It's going to be a very difficult match tonight. It's a tremendous deficit to pull back, and with no Martin Newgard, it really is going to be a tough proposition.
Well, yeah, we absolutely got slaughtered on Monday without Troy and Martin, but like Troy's here tonight, we've got rider replacement for Martin. We're just going to pop out the box and win a few races.
The test match at Peterborough rather hectic, and you involved in one of those incidents?
No, I wasn't, no. You got that wrong. I got that wrong.
Okay. You must be pleased with your own form. You're pushing for that third heat leader spot at the moment.
Oh yeah, like at the moment I'm not too worried about my average. I just want to score points and win races, you know, and like let the average come to me. But at the moment I started to struggle, and I just got to get me head sorted out and get the mental block out of the way and just score some points and, like, you know, win.
So I think the aggregate is certainly already gone beyond the Cheetahs. Can they claw back and win this second leg? They settle for what could have been interesting and a vital heat as far as tonight's results concerned, I think. Heat number 8. Starting Marshall calls Morton up to the tapes in the one gate. He now moves away as the green light comes on. Away, and it's Morton making a good gate for the inside. Morton Anderson trying to get round the outside. Dave Mullet trying to get round the outside. Everybody that leaves Troy Butler no room at all on the outside of that top corner. Morton Anderson swept through inside Ray Morton. There's Anderson then from Morton. It's Mullet in third, Troy Butler at the back, and Morton. Dave Mullet's gone wide in that top corner. Can Troy Butler get through on the inside? Dave Mullet went much too wide, left a big gap, and Troy Butler's worked his way through the third. Dave Mullet trying to get back round the outside line. As Morton Anderson shows from Ray Morton. Butler in third. Dave Mullet now with it all to do at the back as they move. Then the back straight once again. So Morton Anderson doing a good job for the Cheetahs at the moment. One heat number 2. Looks like he's going to win this heat number 8. Dave Mullet trying to hit back at Troy Butler for that third place position on the last lap now. And bunching up the second, third and 4 as Anderson well away at the front. It's Morton in second, Butler in third. Dave Mullet at the back. What can he try on this pit squad? Butler goes wide. Mullet trying to cut back on the inside on the race to line of the third place. Troy Butler hangs on as Morton Anderson puts together another good winning ride there in heat number 8. Martin, once again, it's the old shoulder problem. What exactly happened at Peterborough?
Well, unfortunately I got hit in the inside of me by Jason Lyons, and we was both sort of sent down, and we went down quite heavily, and obviously where I sort of come back a bit too soon, my collarbone wasn't quite strong enough, and what I've done is I've displaced my collarbone even more, so the two bones aren't actually together. We're having a problem with them uniting back together, so obviously it's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm hopefully going to be back in about a couple of weeks with a bit of luck, but I've got no problem with it at the moment because the bones are so far apart. They're sort of a quarter of an inch apart at the moment, and that's why it isn't hurting me at all. We went down quite heavily at Reading, but we're putting up a good fight tonight. I would like to think that I could have played a better part in the scoring at Reading, but unfortunately I couldn't, so
that's all gone now. We look as if we've gone out the knockout cup, but it would just be nice to win at home tonight.
So settling for heat 15. Castagna being called right up in that 4 gate. Starting Marshall's happy with position, the green light's on, away, and Nielsen makes a start, but lifts out of the start. It's Johnson shows Castagna goes sweeping round Nielsen, tries to link up with Johnson. Johnson shows Nielsen trying to cut back inside Castagna. All 4 in the bunch going into that pit corner. Castagna's gone wide, almost comes in, and Butler's moved from the 3rd as Johnson shows then for Nielsen. Butler in 3rd, Castagna now with it all to do at the back as they make their way down the back straight once again. Johnson being pushed hard by Nielsen. Butler's got the important 3rd. Castagna trying to hit back at Butler, but the 3rd is 2 separate races. Nielsen chases Johnson, Castagna's chasing Butler, and Castagna trying to cut back beside Butler on the entrance to that top corner. Nielsen trying to get some drive to get back round the edge of Johnson. But Johnson still then from Nielsen. Butler in 3rd, Castagna still at the back as they make their way onto the last lap now. Looks like Johnson's got the measure of Nielsen at front, but Butler's grimly hanging on to that 3rd place position after Castagna went much too wide on the pits corner. So Per Jonsson going to beat Hans Nielsen for the 2nd time tonight, but Butler's grimly hanging on to that 3rd place position as Per Jonsson wins it. 2nd Hans Nielsen. The 3rd place is Troy Butler, so a good match tonight. The outcome is a 45-all draw. It looked really promising for the racers on that first corner. Jonsson got out and Castagna swept right round the outside of that top corner. Looks rather dejected, thumps his handlebars in disgust with his last place there in the last heat. I think if he'd have settled back for the 3rd instead of trying to get round Nielsen, he may well have hung on to his 3rd. But trying to get round Nielsen went wild, and Troy Butler went through the gap that he left.
No, I mean, we're up against a very good team. I mean, they got a very equal, good team from number 1 down to number 7, and obviously without Martin here, it's a struggle, but still, it was a good meeting, and I don't really think we had much hope of pulling the 22 points back anyway, but at least we had a good meeting. The track was good. We saw some good racing out there.
Ian Anderson, good solid performance by yourself. Amazingly, if rumours are to be true, you got into reserve when the new averages come in.
Well, I've had a couple of bad British League meetings which put me down, but I think my overall average this year is still around about 8.5, so I'm quite pleased about that.
And a very solid performance by the racers, and looking for league honours again this season.
Yeah, I think everybody is firing at the moment. I think we stand a good chance of winning the league. We have a couple of hard home meetings now against Bellevue on Monday and Coventry the following Monday, which are very important that we win.
Thanks, Jan. Per Jonsson, good night for you, Per, tonight. 2 impressive wins over Hans.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to be a good gator to get out, and especially when you ride against Hans, because it's hard to beat him as well. So he's quite quick out there, so you have to beat him from the start.
I locked up so much, I got in trouble. Oh yeah. Okay. I didn't crash. Not there.
Morton Anderson trying to get to them, gets ahead of Bentley. Timo, in fact, gets round Bentley as well, but it's Brian Anderson with the advantage. Then that back straight on lap number 1. Morton Anderson in 2nd, and Bentley tries to get round the outside Spencer Timo and goes into the fence at a fair old rate of not saying on. And it's Morton Anderson making a good gate this time, and a tie there between Brian Anderson and Spencer Timo, not looking too clever there for Brian Anderson. It's Morton Anderson, some 7 or 8 yards clear of Brian Anderson. They come to, and Brian Anderson in fact collects the safety fence down there, comes down, and can he get remounted? He's got remounted. If he can get it going again, he can of course get a 3rd place position. But Anderson trying to get round the outside of Wilson on that top corner, comes alongside Wilson, moves through in the 3rd, relegating Wilson to the back, and in fact Wilson falls on the pits corner as Dugard shows away, and it's Laurent making a good gate. Adam gets it with Adam, just gets the corner first, squeezes Laurent out, and once again Tony Langdon falls in the top corner. This is where the action is for the odd. Falls to the back, Dave Mullet really wide in that top corner, and that's a nasty one there. Phil Morris found some grip in more or less the same place. Race is finished with away, and it's Cunningham make a good gate for the inside. Smith gets out with him, and Smith moves Cunningham over on that top corner. Cunningham goes wide, and Smith in fact turns it completely round, and then Len Cunningham is forced onto the grass to miss him. So drama again upon that top corner. As the starting Marshall moves away, and Nielsen absolutely flies out that one gate. Hancock gets out with him. McNamara pretty slow way and goes straight into the back of Carlson on the top corner, quickly to his feet. The racing good. Held by Graham Brody. Hamburg making a good gate. Barker gets up and tries to ball a hole inside of Hamburg, and down goes Pedersen on that top corner, more or less in exactly the same place. And settle away, and Barker's made a good gate to the inside. Pedersen gets out with him, all three abreast on that top corner, and Pedersen goes out, and now Pedersen falls in more or less the same place upon that top corner. He went out to get a bit of grip and a bit of drive on the outside, but still the Tudors in a 1-2 situation. Anderson shows them and Cunningham, but Musson goes through a gap and down goes Cunningham. That's an interesting one for Reg Trott. Morris in second, Musson in third. Musson again spectacularly there, and Morris goes from the inside to the outside, gets an awkward looking fall on that top corner, but quickly to his feet. He knows if he can get it going, he's got the third place. Sees him shove Morris out. Morris trying to get back round the outside, and Morris won't be denied. He's got back round the outside of Carlson. These two really battling it out there for the odd point in the back, and Stephen Morris spectacularly into the fence. His bike as well as Wilson much too wide on that pits corner. Anderson gets round the outside. Musson to move to the second. Good ride there by Morton Anderson, and Richard Musson in fact falls on the pits corner. Good piece of laying down there by Mark Carlson. The red light's on straight away from Reg Trott. Ermolenko right back there with Troy Butler. Now he's under pressure again from Dean Barker. In fact, Barker falls on the top corner. He just made the move to go in Ermolenko. This is where the action is for the odd point in the back again. Morris gives it a big handful round the outside on the back, goes into the state defence. The Pharaoh red of knots, and his bike has gone a long way up the fence after he'd fallen down. Being held a clean break, and it's making a good gate from the inside, but Morton Anderson slips nicely around the outside of him on that top corner, slipping second, and we've got a fall on the top corner. Mark Meredith falls away, and it's Anderson making a good gate for the inside, but Butler trying to close him down that first corner. Nielsen goes sweeping around Butler. Butler gets round Anderson, but follows tremendous lift coming off that top corner. Away, and Nielsen makes a good gate, but Carlson, Morton Anderson get out with him. Moran with it all to do from the back, coming out of that top corner, and Moran goes sweeping through on the inside line, comes down, tangles up with Morton Anderson, and what drama we've got there in race number 14. The red lights are on. Cambridge, Jorgensen leads in the back straight on lap one. It's Nielsen second. Warren has backed his way through in the third, but Morton Anderson gets in front of Michael Warren and goes right across in front of Michael Warren, puts Michael Warren down there. That looks to be a nasty fall. And again loses contact with Jonsson, gets back there with him again. Jonsson lifts going down that back straight. A last effort from Nielsen, trying to get between them and back. Nielsen falls on the pits corner. It's just a matter which one he'd rather takes it. Dave Mullet wins it. Away, and it's Carlson making a good gate. Anderson gets it with him. Cunningham's got the third. As they sweep out of that top corner and then the back straight on lap number one. And Morris trying to get inside Cunningham, clips Cunningham's back wheel, and a nasty awkward fall there for Phil Morris. He's just got a lot. Get back in the action. Mullet again keeps a tight line on that top corner. Good aggressive line there by Dean Barker. See him sweep right round the outside of Dave Mullet coming up that top, and Mullet lifts. My word, that could have been so nasty there. That really could have been so nasty as Dave Mullet trying to get some drive. Charles Ermolenko in yellow and black, and it's Butler making a good gate for two, getting under pressure from both the Ermolenkos. The Butler has it, and Sam Ermolenko locks up there, and Mark Carlson goes into the back of him and catches a man on the centre green. Oh, he's two away, and Howard makes a good start. In fact, lifts to the start, and Carlson slips on the inside. Butler now with him, and Parker and Butler tangle up on that top corner. And that's the awkward fall on the top corner. Anderson making a good gate. Tony Olsen gets it with all three abreast going into that top corner, but Olsen gets ahead and goes too wide. He makes the same mistake that Martin Dugard did previously. Bobby Ott has missed a start upon himself way down the back of the moment, but shot goes Warren. Ott goes sweeping through from last to first. What a tremendous ride. Down goes Morton Anderson. Freddie shot ploughs into the back of him. It's Moran then from Lawrence. Carlson third. Barker with it all to do at the back, as into the pit, and Jason Lawrence falls on the top corner. Nobody near him. So we settle in for the final action of the evening. Look, if Ray Blackwell has gone back to 25 yards, in fact not on 15 with Brian Ash. 6-man final up go the takes. Moore makes a start. He's already worked his way through Staggart again with Brian Ash, and the back markers already playing their way through. Gary Moon is up in the fourth.
Watch Gary Moon come through, ladies and gentlemen.
And Gary Moon, we've got a spectacular access.
It's real fair stuff.
Gets locked up there. Ray Blackwell gets.
You haven't seen Sidecar Speedway. Ray Blackwell goes onto the infield.
First corner. It's
Richard Moore and Grant Hickling still lead the way. No, they don't, of course.
Then Heath doing the
they've
pushing,
been demoted to second place. Watch Gary Moon at the back. Really fighting his way through. Really spectacular stuff.
As Dave Heath goes roaring inside Richard Moore. Gives Richard Moore a tremendous nudge coming off that pits corner. Heath in Moore, Moon in third. Misa in fourth, Ash in five. As into that pits corner they go once again. And it's still Dave Heath with the advantage over Richard Moore. Moon up into third. Misa into fourth. Brian Ash losing contact in the back, and I think Ray Black will want to be too pleased. That's been shunted off of the track on this six-man final. It's still Heath. Moore not too far behind him. Moon's closing up on Moore for that second place. Misa in fourth can make no impression on Moon at the moment. As into that top corner they go once again. He slides it wide. Moore looking for line through on the inside.
Gary Moon closes up on Richard Moore.
Place. There's still Heath from Moore. Moon in third. Meeks now taking close order in front. Moon squeezed inside Moore there. Moore went too wide on that pits corner, and Gary Moon now moves through into second. Moore trying to hit back on the inside. Here comes Meesa when he goes up from fourth to third, but Moore gets back right, and Richard Moore in fact has lost his passenger into the fence on that top corner. As it's still Dave Heath then from Gary Moon. Roger Meesa in third. And Richard Moore going down, doesn't realise he's lost his pass from the back. As the last lap flag comes out for Dave Heath. Gary Moon is in second, third place for Roger Meesa third. So they couldn't quite work their way through from the stagger.
It's what Sidecar Speedway is all about.
And Roger
Making the
Meesa
date when the
came through from 30
Australians come
yards.
over.
Dave Heath had the 20-yard stagger. With me now, the Oxford team manager, John Tremblin. John, it was always going to be a difficult match tonight, but the task made even more difficult with no Hans Nielsen tonight.
Well, that's obviously the answer to your question, but I mean, if Hans had been here, it would have been a hell of a meeting, a good meeting for the public to watch. But now, rider replacement, I mean, I don't think Martin's yet 100% fit. Dino's had trouble with his engines, but I think he's got them right now. Troy's flying at the moment. It just depends what Mark and Little Cunningham do at reserve, and of course our Morton in the team.
The one pleasing thing of this season has been the improvement in Morton Anderson's scores, and now he has, of course, moved up into the team proper.
Yeah, well, at Ipswich last week, he was at three races. He was absolutely brilliant. I mean, Teaser passed him again. Parker passed him again, and Norrie only passed him. And that's what I thought was good speedway. And he's got a lot of potential as our Morton.
We've got a world-class rider out. He's your number one. Rider replacement is no adequate facility for the missing rider tonight.
I think it's absolutely ludicrous. Any team that's got one of their top three out, they should be a Luda guest, in my opinion.
And obviously, looking at it from the other point of view, crowds are down, the star of tracks is missing tonight, and that's not exactly the way to get more people back to the turnstiles.
Well, they won't. The trouble with us tonight, Oxford, if we get hammered, I hope we don't. I mean, we can still win if my lads get together. Don't worry about that. I'm not that bothered. We can still beat Swindon if we get together. But from the public point of view, it's not good entertainment.
And of course, another big minus factor, the fact he will also be missing at Peterborough for the Falls on Sunday.
Yeah, well, I was all looking forward to that. I thought, well, they haven't got Lee Adams at Swindon, they haven't got Parker at Ipswich. I thought, well, with our fork, we're in with a good chance, because Troy rides it well, Martin rides it well. I thought we're in with a chance to win that, but now it's come and go again.
Martin Dugard then is off gate 1, Mitch Shearer off gate 2, Troy Butler off gate 3, and Dean Standing off gate number 4.
So the riders settling then for heat number 1. Away, and Dugard's made a good gate with the inside. Shearer gets it with him standing in third. Butler cuts inside, Standing gets inside Shearer as well. And a good first corner there for the Cheetahs as Dugard shows end from Butler. Shearer trying to get back round the outside. Butler moving in to that pits corner. Shearer gets back round Butler, takes a line that Butler wants. As Dugard then from Shearer, Butler in third, Standing at the back as down the back straight they go on lap number 2, and obviously a lot depending on Martin Dugard's on a sure to be in for a very busy evening. Lee's now complete in lap 2. It's Shearer in second, Butler in third. Standing at the back. Down the back straight they go once again. Standing taking closer order on the Butler coming out of that top corner. Butler again pulls away on the straight. The Standing's right back there with him again going into that pits corner. As Dugard leads on the lap 4, and Standing goes inside Butler, and we've got a tremendous pile up there. Standing got inside Butler, Butler came down, Standing walks off the track, the yellow exclusion light already on for Dean Standing, but obviously Troy Butler the main cause concern at the moment.
race, of course, was stopped in the interest of safety. The rider in yellow-black was excluded from that one, but as the riders were into the final lap, the race, in fact, has been awarded.
So Moran 1, Anderson 2, Shearer 3, Barker on 4, heat 5. At the gate, green light comes on, Stolly Marshall moves away, and it's Kelly Moran making a good gate. Shearer gets it with him, Anderson trying to slip through on the inside, gets inside Shearer too wide, coming off that top corner, left the gap, Anderson goes through, Barker at the back is into the pits corner on lap number 1, Shearer trying to sweep back round the outside, Morton Anderson leaves the gap up the inside, Barker moves to third, Shearer tries to come again, they lock shoulder to shoulder for that third place position, as Moran then from Anderson, Barker in third, Shearer gets back round the outside, Barker to move to the third, good action in this heat 5 as Moran still shows in from Anderson, and Shearer's gone wide again coming out of that pit squad. Barker slips back through into that third place position as Moran leads on the back straight once again, looks over his shoulders. Anderson still in second, Barker in third, Shearer now with it all to do at the back as they come and move on to lap number 4. And what a wily old campaigner Kelly Moran is to be in that number 7 jacket. One heat 2, looks like winning this heat number 5 as well. Anderson in second, Barker in third, Shearer at the back as Kelly Moran makes it 2 out of 2. He wins heat 5. Second, Morton Anderson. Third spot, Dean Barker. And the Cheetahs still have that 6-point lead.
Beg your pardon, press the wrong button there. We're not on 2 minutes. That's should have been the chart. Apologies for that. It's all the excitement tonight. Result of heat number 5 and a win in yellow-black for Kelly Moran.
Carlson being called one up in the 3 gate. They're now all full ready for action for heat 14. Green lights on. Away, and Nielsen makes a good gate, but Carlson, Morton Anderson get out with him, Moran with it all to do from the back, coming out of that top corner, and Moran goes sweeping through on the inside line, comes down, tangles up with Morton Anderson, and what drama we've got there in race number 14. The red lights are on. So you've got 2 riders down there on the track. Kelly Moran is up. And okay, we now look to see what the problem is with Morton Anderson. As you can see, looks like the yellow exclusion light already on there for Kelly Moran. But the main concern at the moment is, of course, Morton Anderson. But to say he's up on his feet, so show of applause there for Morton Anderson. Kelly Moran, the in-form number 7 for Swindon tonight. What exactly happened in your 5th ride, Kelly?
Oh, I was trying to see where Mort gets the best racing lines, and unfortunately we came together a little bit close, but, you know, Mort and myself were friends. We were able to laugh about it afterwards, but it was just an unfortunate thing for Swindon, but it was fortunate for Oxford.
Seems very strange to see Kelly Moran at reserve in a number 7 race jacket.
You won't hear me complaining for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation again for both sides. I think Speedway the real winners tonight.
Yeah, I've had one meeting at reserve, and straight away, because I got a better score than I have all year, sort of virtually at Oxford, people come up and say, you know, you're riding a lot better, but last week, to be honest, it was probably the worst I've ridden for a month, but I got more points, so it was just the way it worked out. But I think the reserve, you know, drop to reserve, I think I'll go better now. I think I'll, you know, my confidence will get better and I'll pick up. Well, I think, so looking back on it now, I don't think it was really the late start. I rode, you know, most of the winter in Australia, which I don't usually do, and I was going really good and everything was going great. And then about the last 2 months I was in Australia, there was virtually no racing at all, and I was just doing other things, you know, going out with my mates and drinking quite a bit, and I think that's where I lost my momentum. So when I got here, I was sort of, it was like starting a new season fresh without riding at all. So all the good work I did in Australia riding, and then the last 2 months sort of lost that momentum. So I think that's what contributed to the early season. And obviously I think this year it's a bit harder than last year. Plus last year I did manage to start the season at reserve and then moved up into the team, which was all right. This year I started at number 2, which is quite hard. So I think that's where it went wrong.
All things being equal, you should have had a new reserve partner tonight, but due to some of the silly regulations of Speedway, it looks as if Oxford have been blocked in the signing of Gordon Kennett.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about it, but, you know, obviously that would have been good for us because he's got a lot of experience, and it's just, you know, it's just another silly rule that's going to stop us having a good team. But, you know, no disrespect to Glenn, he's still too young to, you know, he's still young and he's learning, so he's got plenty of time. So obviously I don't think he'd be enjoying life the way things have been going, but he's got heaps of time to get over that.
Marvin, obviously looking forward to having a good meeting tonight.
Yeah, I always like coming back to Oxford. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking for me, obviously, because I want to go good against the ex-riders, and obviously the supporters to prove a little bit of a point to them. But yeah, I always look forward to coming down here. I was down here, I think, 2 or 3 months ago with a 4-team tournament. That was the last time and the first time of this year.
Your form at the moment is absolutely tremendous. Superb performance at Bellevue last Friday. Not the easiest of tracks to ride.
Yeah, I don't enjoy going to Bellevue before leaving home, but I've had a couple of meetings on the smaller tracks this year with Rye House, and we've been at Reading a couple of times, so it is the similar sort of style of track, turning the corners hard. And after a couple of rides, got points, and things just get going on from there.
You must be disappointed that the World Championship rounds came as early as they did, because on your current form, you'd have walked those qualifying rounds.
Yeah, that's what Speedway's about, current form and low on form and low on power and not feeling good and etc, etc. It can go on forever. But, you know, I've got maybe a reprieve still yet. I'm still reserved. There's another week and a half to go, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Well, put it like this, every time I come here I crash or something happens. It's one of them places, it's a lovely little circuit, but it never seems to work for me here. So if I can finish tonight, still walking home, I'll be happy.
Heat 3 at the gate. Being held away. Barker makes a good gate the inside. Langdon and Boyce with Morten Andersen with it all two at the back, and Langdon again locks it up on that top corner, and Morten Andersen finds a way through. Boyce almost got then Barker on that top corner. Barker rode him out of it, and it's Barker who shows then from Boyce. Andersen in third. Langdon at the back as into the top corner on lap number 2. Barker rides mid track, Boyce goes wide, gets the grip, gets a drive, throws his one up there on the Dean Barker, and Langdon not too far behind Morten Andersen. Spectacular action again from Boyce on the outside of the pit scorn, but Barker seems to have a measure at the moment. It's Barker then from Boyce, Andersen in third, Langdon at the back, and again taking the big handful around the outside of that top corner, but goes much too wide. Looks like he could have the first heat advantage in this one, as Barker shows in from Boyce. Andersen still in third, they're on to lap 4. Boyce again wide on the top corner, gets a drive coming off the corner. He can't see the close up on Barker going into straight, but he's right there with Barker now, and really goes to the big handful. Spectacular trail action off that pits corner, a race the line as Dean Barker wins it. Second Craig Boyce, third place Morten Andersen. The first heat advantage, it's a 4-2, and it goes to the Cheetahs in heat number 3. All on a 7-4, heat number 4. Being held away, and Dugard's made a good gate. The one gate Schofield gets with Johansson the active well, but both Schofield and Johansson go wide, and Cunningham cuts inside them both, but Schofield retakes him on the outside line. But at the moment again, Cunningham holding an important third place as Dugard goes from the inside to the outside. Schofield's right there with him, and then Schofield gets inside Dugard going into that top corner. It's Schofield from Dugard. Schofield keeps a tight line, thinking Dugard was coming through on the inside, but a good ride there by Martin Dugard right round the outside of Steve Schofield. It's Cunningham in third, Johansson at the back, swimming away with heat number 5, 14-10 to the Chili's at the moment after 2 successive 4-2s. Away, and it's Stevens making a good gate. Cox gets set with him. Morten Andersen trying to get between them, gets ahead of Stevens, but can't get the Cox. And Barker also works her way around the outs of Stevens. As Cox shows in from Andersen, it's Barker in third. Stevens trying to go around the outs of Barker off that Pitts corner. But for the first time tonight, Forest trying to hit the front of the course the second time. As Tom Knudsen won heat number 2 as Cox shows in from Anderson. Barker in third. Stevens with all to do at the back again. Goes to speed round the outside of that pitch. But Morton Anderson goes much too wide. Did very well to stop on the good piece of unselfish riding there by Dean Barker. He throttled right back to stop with Morton Anderson, and that's allowed Alistair Stevens to get back there with those 3 all in a bunch going down that back straight. It's Cox a long way clear at the front. It's Barker in second. Stevens gets inside Anderson. Anderson back round the outside line. Terrific action for second, third and 4 as Cox has got it son at the front. It's still Barker in second, and Stevens still battling after Anderson for that third place position. Anderson on the inside. Stevens goes to line round the outside, cuts back for an inside pass, and Marvin Cox wins it. Second, Dean Barker. Third place, it's Morton Anderson, and some good racing there in heat number 5. Final time, so dramatic happenings in heat number 6 as Tom Knudsen comes through for his second winning ride of the evening. Tom Knudsen wins it. Second, Steve Schofield. Third spot, Hans Nielsen, and drama there in heat number 6. So the 4 riders settled for race number 11. Marshall moves away, and it's Stevens making a good gate. The 2 gate, Dugard gets it when the Stevens gets the corner first. Dugard took Cox wide in that top corner. Carlson gets inside Cox, but Cox in fact trying to get round the outside of Dugard. These 2 shoulder to shoulder into that pit stop, but Dugard has took Cox wide and Carlson almost slips inside him. As Stevens shows in from Dugard trying to get round the edge of Stevens. Cox trying to cut back through on an inside line, and still Stevens has the advantage over Dugard. Cox in third. It's Carlson at the back, and this time Dugard tries an attack round the outside. Stevens cuts back for the inside pass. Stevens has moved over as a gap up the inside. Dugard gets inside Stevens, but Stevens sweeps back round the outside again as a gap up the inside again. Dugard trying to get back inside Stevens, but still Stevens with the advantage now. Dugard tries an attack round the outside of the pits corner, cuts back for an inside line. Cox comes back in the action as well. As Stevens shows in from Dugard. Cox in third. It's Carlson at the back. As down the back straight they go for the follow Thomas. No or never for Martin Dugard. What will he try? He tries speed round the outside of the pits corner. Cuts back, but Alistair Stevens shuts it all in his face. Stevens wins it. Second, Martin Dugard. Third place, Marvin Cox. And that really is a dramatic blow there to the Pirates in heat number 11. A good win there for Alistair Stevens. Second, beaten for the first time tonight, Martin Dugard. The third place, Marvin Cox. It's 6 the difference. Will the Cheetahs tactical substitute this time? Team manager John Tremblin running back to the pits. Hans Nielsen's already out. I think this time he's got to bring out Martin Dugard to partner him. But what a decisive blow there, struck by Alistair Stevens, former Cheetahs rider, signed by the Pirates this season. He wins the dramatic heat 11. So they're ready for action for heat number 12 then. Boys 2 second places so far. Schofield, he's got 7 paying 8 in his opening 3. Dugard has just dropped to 1 point away, and Boyce has made a good gate for the inside. Nielsen gets it with him, and Dugard's made order at the back. The Schofield falls on the top corners. Boyce leads down the back straight. The red lights are on. Schofield trapped underneath the machine on the top corner. Forward is ready. Dean Howland. Boyce again has made a good gate, but Nielsen made a better one this time and tries to close. Boyce still on that top corner. Dugard trying to get round the outs as well as Nielsen shows in from Boyce. Dugard in third. Schofield at the back, is into the pits corner on lap number 1, and Dugard trying to get back, cut back inside. Boyce coming off that pits corner, but still Nielsen shows him, and Boyce with a good ride there by Dugard. There wasn't a gap left there by Boyce. Dugard created his own gap, and he's up there with Nielsen now. Boyce trying to hit back on the inside line as Nielsen shows in from Dugard. Boyce in third. Schofield at the back as they come on to complete lap number 2, and this is exactly what the Cheetahs wanted. A good aggressive ride there by Martin Dugard. 2 the difference. If Carlson were to win this heat 14, I think the firepower of Nielsen and Dugard could yet see the Cheetahs home, but anything less, I think it really is a tall order for the Cheetahs in heat number 15. So Anderson 1, Boyce 2, Carlson 3, Knudsen again finding himself with gate number 4 as he was in his last outing. Being held away, and Boyce has made the drop from the 2 gate, but Morton Anderson slips through nicely, and Solomon and Boyce in fact gives Knudsen a nudge, and Knudsen gets put back to last as Carlson gets inside Knudsen, but Knudsen comes again then as Anderson shows from Boyce. It's Knudsen in third, Carlson at the back, and we could have a dramatic finish on our hands again tonight as Morton Anderson leads into that top corner on lap number 2. He's pulling away from Craig Boyce. It's Knudsen in third, Carlson tailed off at the back, as into the pits corner they go once again. Certainly Boyce got the drop at the start, but it was a good first corner by Morton Anderson. Obviously a little bit fired up after being pulled out of his third ride, and it's Anderson well clear of Boyce. Teammate Knudsen in third place. Carlson can make no impression at the back as they move into the pits corner on lap number 3. So Morton Anderson keeping this match very much alive for the Cheetahs. As down the back straight they go once again. Anderson from Boyce, who really goes wide coming off that top corner. Knudsen in there to cover him. Carlson can make no impression at the back, so impressive.
Come on, then, give
and
him a big
important
cheer.
winning
That's
ride
Morton
coming up there
Anderson.
for Morton Anderson. Second Craig Boyce, third spot Tommy Knudsen, and we now have a classic last heat decider. Settled in for 15, green lights on from Reg Trott. Away, and Nielsen made a tremendous gate. Cox gets it within Dugard, squeaks around the outside of Cox, but Cox takes Dugard wide on that top corner, and Schofield goes to the gap that Cox had left. As Nielsen shows in from Cox, it's Schofield in third, Dugard at the back, and that was a real hard first corner, and Marvin Cox couldn't get to Nielsen, but he made sure he took Dugard wide, and Schofield in fact falls on the top corner once again. We're in the scoring position. He needs to get up quickly because Marvin Cox has got the second place at the moment, and Cox trying to get round the outs of Nielsen coming off the pit score. Nielsen shows in Cox, and Cox right alongside Nielsen now as they move into the top corner once again. It's Nielsen then from Cox. Dugard in third in its stage. This way the Cheetahs come from behind. The snatcher drawn yet again. Trying to speed around the outs of Nielsen coming off that pits corner. Then on to lap number 4 then. Nielsen just ahead of Cox. It's Dugard in third as down the back straight they go. Forley, Conor Thomas now on over for Marvin Cox. What will he try on this pits corner? Nielsen rides mid-track. Cox is looking for line for on the inside with Hans Nielsen wins it. Second Marvin Cox. The third place is Martin Dugard, and something's happened. I think the Marvin Cox's bike off the race is finished. And the drama there, and Steve Schofield falls on the top corner.
Well, it's going a lot better now. I've had a few good meetings in my last 3 meetings. Changed back to Peter Johns, who's tuning the engines, and they seem to be working well.
And obviously looking for plenty of birthday presents from the Oxford fans on Sunday.
I do hope so, yeah. You can all bring them to Wolverhampton on Monday.
Marvin Cox, a dramatic last seat decider. He looks as if you've got Steve Schofield home for the 3 apiece, but you got you the win, and then Steve fell on the second lap.
Yeah, I can't really say what happened in a particular race because he was just behind me at the time, but when you've got someone like Hans in front of you, Martin, like a fly all over you, inside and out, you just got to go for it and look after yourself, really, you know.
Did you realise that Steve had fallen because you dramatically chased after Hans Nielsen and were looking for the victory yourself?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that Steve had gone down until I just got back into the pits just now.
You must have enjoyed yourself on your own home base and a cracking match tonight.
Yeah, I think everybody enjoyed it tonight. There was obviously some good races, and we pulled clear after about heat 6 to 9, I think it was, and it made more exciting bringing tactical substitutes in and making a good meeting of it.
A lot of you have been reading in the press and hearing on the radio this week that we intended signing Gordon Kennett for the Oxford team. It's quite true. We approached Gordon to see if he would sign for us, having checked with the BSPA that his average was such that we could fit him in the team. We were first informed by the BSPA that his average was his British League average of 5.04, which meant that we, having already declared a team at the beginning of the season that had 3 heat leaders over 27 points, we could use any rider up to 6 points to strengthen our team. We therefore negotiated with Gordon Kennett to come to Oxford and thought we had secured it. Unfortunately, when we went back to the BSPA and told them that we were about to sign him, they revealed to us that in fact his average was 6.12. This meant that as he was over 6 points, we could not sign him and put him in our team. We were extremely disappointed with this and went back to the BSPA and asked for special dispensation to allow a British rider who is currently unemployed to ride for our team. They rang around all the management committee, and I don't know how each individual voted, but I do understand that the voting went against us and no special dispensation was granted to allow Gordon Kennett to ride. A lot of supporters have said, how come Swindon, who also started with a 27.3 heat leaders at the beginning of the season, were allowed to bring in Kelly Moran to strengthen their side? The BSPA have said that it was an error that Swindon were allowed to do it, but 2 wrongs do not make a right, and therefore Oxford are being excluded from allowing to do the same thing. I pointed out to them that we weren't trying to bring in somebody as strong as Kelly Moran to strengthen our side. We were bringing in a rider who, albeit on his day was a terrific rider, but on present day terms was nowhere near even a 6-point man. But they said, unfortunately, the rules are the rules, and we were not entitled to bring anybody back into Oxford unless we lose one of our heat leaders who has a points average above 6 points. That's the unfortunate saga, and I thought I'd let you all know, because we desperately wanted to try Gordon Kennett back in the team. We thought he could do a job for us. Unfortunately, we can't. I'm sorry about that.
Well, the referee is delaying the start for just a couple of moments to give Hemel Brahel time to get changed and get his bike in action, ready for heat number 1. Also, we're still waiting for Henrik Gustafsson to turn up. He hasn't yet arrived, so let's hope we can see him in the stadium for his programme ride, which is course heat number 3.
Calling Darren Spicer right up into line in that 3 gate. They all 4 settle, ready for 9, a clean break, and Laram makes a good gate. Barker gets it with him, but Laram gets a corner first, gives Barker a shove, and then in turn puts Spicer down and leaves Timo with absolutely nowhere to go. Ball riders settle again for heat number 9. Away, and again Laram gets a good gate. Barker gets it with him, and Timo gets in the action one. This time Laram goes out to move Barker out, but Barker wasn't there. I think Laram thought Barker was trying to come round in the same as he did when the race was stopped, but he wasn't. He was at the back, and he cleverly cut back inside Laram, and it's Barker who shows in from Laram. Timo's got that crucial third. Spicer at the back is into the top corner on lap number 2, and Laram looking inside, looking outside to try and get by Dean Barker, but Barker still the advantage at the moment. Laram a bite behind him as they race into the pits corner on lap number 2. Barker from the Ram. Timo got that crucial third and doing a good job for the Cheetahs with his promotion to the senior side tonight. Spicer at the back. Just down the back straight goes Dean Barker. Looks as if he could collect his first winning ride of the evening. Looks as if Mark Laram could be beaten for the first time. It's not. They move on to lap 4. Still Barker from Laram. Timo's got the crucial third. That would bring it back all square with a heat 10 coming up that should really favour the Cheetahs. As Barker leads in the back straight, 40 from Tom Laram trying to determine effort round the outside of that pitch corner. Goes too wide, and it's a good win there for Dean Barker. Second is Mark Laram. Third place is a crucial one again for Spencer Timo. 4th to the Cheetahs, and they claw back all square. In this heat 10, Dennis Lufquist, after getting a pay-winning ride in his first, tried in last, his second, he's there gate 1. Troy Butler up and down evening gate number 2. It's Tom Grimstead gate 3, Hans Nielsen with 8 of 9 so far, gate number 4, heat 10. Lights on from Barry Richardson away, and it's Butler making a good gate in the 2 gate. Lufquist trying to get inside, Butler gets inside Butler. Nielsen's already swept round Lufquist and his partner Butler as it's Nielsen shows then for Lufquist. Butler in third, Grimstead at the back as they race into that pits corner on lap number 1. Nielsen looks behind him, so Lufquist in second, Butler trying to get inside Lufquist, going into that top corner. As Nielsen still shows in for Lufquist. Butler in third, and this is where the action is for that second place position. Butler not too far behind Lufquist. Grimstead at the back as Lufquist widens the track. Butler goes to the outside, cuts back for an inside pass. He's almost alongside Lufquist now as they race into that top corner. Butler gets inside Lufquist, moves Lufquist over on the top one and moves through to a crucial second place. Look, the heat to favour the Cheetahs is heat number 10. They're packing the 1-2 situation at the moment as Nielsen leads on to his last lap. We'll check the grip, track the drive. Exactly where they want to settle down for what really is an important heat number 12. The Cheetahs are 4 up, but I say the Stars have got the 2 best riders out. Laram beaten only one tonight. That was by Dean Barker in heat number 9. So Nielsen, Gustafsson, Anderson and Laram. Finally settled for heat number 12. Being held away, Nielsen gets out from the inside, but Gustafsson gets at it. Nielsen closes Nielsen down that first corner. Laram trying to sweep round the outside, comes alongside Nielsen, going to the back straight, gets ahead of Nielsen, goes round teammate Gustafsson. We've got drama in the street number 12 with Gustafsson on the inside. Laram round the outside. Once again, Gustafsson closes Nielsen down on the inside of that pits corner. The action switches to the top corner again with Laram round the outside. Gustafsson up the inside. Nielsen trying to split them up again as into the pits corner. They go on lap number 2. Laram round the outside. Gustafsson covers the inside line. Laram looks across. going off and somewhat leaving Gustafsson. I think Gustafsson has the job to keep up with Ram at the moment. Nielsen again goes wide on that top corner, almost comes alongside Gustafsson, going down the back straight, but Gustafsson has just got the drop on Nielsen, who switches the attack to an inside line. The Ram round the outside, Gustafsson right in mid-track again. Nielsen trying to cut back inside and on to lap 4. What will Nielsen try on the outside of that top corner? Tries to sweep between them again. There's still a Ram then from Gustafsson. Nielsen gets close to Gustafsson again, going in to that pit stop. There is a gap between them. Will Nielsen slip through on the inside? He's right there again, but it's just a win there for Mark Ram. Second, Henry Gustafsson. Third spot, Hans Nielsen. And the Stars come right back into this match with that 5-1 with their two best riders, Mark Ram and Henke Gustafsson. They shake hands going down the back straight. The gap seemed to appear on a couple of occasions, but Nielsen couldn't find a way through.
Stars come fighting back in that one with the winning white for Mark Ram.
Anyway, it's Darren Spicer on gate 1, Mark Carlson gate 2, Henke Gustafsson gate 3, and Morten Andersen gate number 4. Heat 14. He howled away. Andersen made a tremendous gate, and Carlson made an even better one from that inside position. Gustafsson in second, Spicer in third, but Andersen gets round the outside. Spicer is Carlson, somewhat surprisingly leads Heat 14 down the back straight on lap number 1. Gustafsson going to speed around the outside of Carlson, almost left the gap for Andersen to get through, and it's still Carlson who shows then from Gustafsson. It's Andersen in third, Spicer at the back, and if it stays this way, the Chillers would sew it up with 1 heat to go, and it would be a real remarkable recovery by the Oxford side after being 8 points down at one stage. At Mark Carlson, is he going to produce a match-winning ride in the seat number 14? He's well clear of Gustafsson now. Andersen's got the crucial third, Spicer at the back, so it's still Carlson shows from Gustafsson. Gustafsson gets a bit closer going into that pit stop, but Carlson keeps a tight line, stops Gustafsson coming through on the inside on and on to lap 4 this time. Carlson still from Gustafsson. Andersen in third, and I don't think Henke Gustafsson can get to Mark Carlson with that person getting close again. Then a back straight, Carlson on the inside. Gustafsson goes to speed around the outside line, cuts back for an inside pass, but Mark Carlson gets 3 crucial points here. Second is Henke Gustafsson, the third place Morten Andersen, and that means the Tudors in fact do sew it up with just 1 race to go, and that was an important race win there for Mark Carlson. Lap number 4 then. So Timo from Meredith, and Meredith in back turns it round in a full circle on the top corner, comes crashing down. Wormleighton moves through on the inside of him. Cunningham from Timo. Meredith now moves in the third, in fact falls on the pits corner, gets it round, a nasty twisting heap on that top corner, and Parker slipped through for third. Pearson trying to get back round Parker, and Parker gets inside Pearson, comes down and brings down Darren Pearson, who's just behind him. The red lights are on straight away. An engine bike of Wayne Parker furiously revving there with himself trapped underneath. It looks like the cutout's not worked on that bike. I think he's had to snatch the plug lead off. So no, down the back straight, and we've got a faller then on the top corner. It's Simon Bean who comes down on that top corner. And the red lights are on, so it looks as if it may have to be stopped and restarted. And for Heat 3 away, and Heat 4 in fact of course, and it's Stuart Barnaby who goes hurtling into that top corner, comes to grief. Pearson trying to get back round Parker, and Parker gets inside Pearson, comes down and brings down Darren Pearson, who's just behind him. The red lights are on straight away. Away, and Stanford making a good gate. Pollard gets him in, but a nasty spell between Parker and Stanford, who collided there on that above the 30-yard mark. Stanford made a good gate. In fact, they all 4 virtually got out together. They're coming under pressure with Upton for that third place position. Upton in fact falls, trying to get underneath Pollard on that top corner, went in too tight and comes to Graves, still trying to get between them as they move on to lap 4. Wilson home round the outside, Morris on the inside. In fact, Cunningham falls on the top corner. That must be the end now. Away, McNamara makes a good gate. The start looping at the gate there by Wayne Parker. Really did a big loop on the start. Cunningham takes teammates, Timo a bit wide, going into that pits corner, and Morris slides inside Timo, and Morris sliding down. Leader, like Tomlin, and through for his second winning ride of the morning. And in fact, Nick Upton falls on the pits corner. Danny O'Brien looks to cross to see what's happened to him. And the second winning ride coming up there for Mike Luffway, second Nick Upton, and in third place, Danny O'Brien. Last lap, and it's into the fence there for the rider in yellow and black, who is, of course, Lee Rawlinson.
Cowley, a track where Coventry have had some good results in the past. It's going to be a busy night, particularly for you and the other heat leaders in the side with no Tommy Knudsen tonight.
Yeah, it makes it really tough. Tommy's great around Oxford, so we could use him, and it might make the difference between us winning and losing. It's always hard with rider replacement. It's much easier to do rider replacement at home. So I just hope a few of us can get going and we can sort of cover for them. Oxford aren't the strongest team they've been this year, but by no means are they easy at home. So I couldn't tell you how it's going to go. We just got to hope we have some luck tonight. I'm riding with an injured knee. I've hurt my left knee in Austria, and I'd sure love to be out of this meeting because it's a tight track and it puts more strain on you. It's just that, you know, we've had a problem lately. We don't have so many meetings with Coventry, and it feels like once we had a chance to win the league only a month ago, and now it feels like that thought's gone. So we got to, like you say, try and win this and get back into the groove, and hopefully we can cover for Tommy tonight, win, and get right back to where we were about a month ago, where we were sort of looking at winning the league.
So riders settling then for Hinkley Moor. Andy Smith, gate 1, Hans Nielsen, gate 2, Bron Anderson, gate 3, and Morton Anderson, gate number 4. Connie Marshall moves away, and Smith makes a good gate. The 1 gate lifts there at the start. He's got the advantage over Nielsen on that top corner. Smith then for Nielsen. Nielsen tries to cut back to come on the inside line, but Nielsen comes under pressure there from Bron Anderson. Bron Anderson gets ahead of Hans Nielsen. So drama in this opening heat. And Smith shows in for Anderson. Nielsen gets back inside Anderson, takes Anderson wide on that top corner. Morton Anderson trying to get back at Bron Anderson as Andy Smith leads. Then the back straight on lap number 2. It's Nielsen second, Bron Anderson in third, Morton Anderson at the back. So a promising start for Coventry in this heat number 1. So they come back into line, and Rick Miller has not moved from the position where he was in the first place. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now. And Miller being pulled right up in the 3, stays in the same position he was before. Away, and it's Dugard making a good gate with the 4 gate. Jorgensen slips on the inside line. Dugard powers around Jorgensen on that top one, and Butler follows him around. I think Dugard's got a few bike problems. He just got to the front. Martin Dugard, his bike had come to a hold. He's far back in the life again now as Butler comes under pressure from Jorgensen. Miller in third. Dugard now with an all to do up the back. Goes into the top corner on lap 2. Butler goes wide coming out of that top corner. Jorgensen right there with him. Miller in third. Martin Dugard, let's say, with an all to do at the back as they come out of that pit. When Miller goes from the inside of the track to the outside, but still holds his third place as Jorgensen right alongside Butler, gets inside Butler on that top corner, shoulder to shoulder. Butler gets back round the outside of Jorgensen there. Terrific action heat number 3 as Butler then from Jorgensen. Miller in third. Martin Dugard now starting to close him on Rick Miller for that third place position. They're on the last lap now, and it's still Butler then from Jorgensen. Miller on the inside. Dugard goes powering past Miller. Miller comes back through on the inside line as Butler leads into that pits corner for the final time. Jorgensen second. Rick Miller falls on the bottom corner as Troy Butler wins it. Second is John Jorgensen. Third place Martin Dugard. A very eventful heat number 3. The main problem with Rick now is the knee. He has a rather suspect knee, and he's given it a terrific bang with the bike coming down on top of the injured knee, and that seems to be the main cause of the problem at the moment.
And a new face at number 2. I hope you'll give him a warm welcome here to County. He's signed on a loan from Middlesbrough. And number 2 this morning, Daz Sumner.
And it's Dave Mullet being called right up to the tapes in that number 4 gate. Being held, starting Marshall moves away. Clean break, and Nielsen makes a good gate for the inside. Jonsson gets it, and they almost touch going into that top corner. Jonsson's got it, and once again the racers are putting over Hans Nielsen at the moment. As Jonsson on the inside, Mullet round the outside. Nielsen did exactly the same thing happened here the last time the racers were here. As Mullet shows in for Jonsson, Nielsen third, Newman does Sumner down at the back, and they make their way down the back straight on lap number 2. So what a tremendous start for the race on this beautiful sunny Monday morning. As Jonsson on the inside line, Mullet round the outside again. Nielsen tries to get to them, almost got the twin there coming off that pits corner. The action switch to the top, comes a gap again. As Jonsson has to slow up, let Mullet sweep back round the outside. Mullet sweeps back round the outside again. It's Mullet on the outside, Jonsson up the inside. Nielsen in third, still trying to get between them. The gap was there again, but he couldn't quite find a way through. As on to lap 4, Jonsson round the outside line. Mullet again loses contact with Jonsson, gets back there with him again. Jonsson lifts going down that back straight. A last effort from Nielsen, trying to get between them. In fact, Nielsen falls on the pits corner. It's just a matter which way the rider takes it, Dave. Mullet wins it. Second pair Jonsson, a most uncharacteristic fall there for Hans Nielsen. It's Morton being called one up there in the number 4 gated position. Starting Martin now happy with his position at the gate. Green light comes on, he moves away. Someone's fight does the same thing halfway there as it's Dugard making a good gate from the inside. Castagna in the action, that flick spot the wide on the outside line as Castagna comes right alongside Dugard, their shoulder to shoulder, going into that pit squad, and Dugard on the inside. Castagna drifts a bit wide, leaves a gap, and Dugard sweeps her on the inside line. Dugard then for Castagna. Butler in third, these three pulling away from Ray Morton. As I said, that Morton dives inside, Butler locked together at the back. I thought both riders are coming down there. Tremendous action at the back between Morton and Butler. Now swept back round the outside of Morton. And this Dugard shows from Castagna. Butler now retakes the third from Morton. Into the top corner once again. This time it's Castagna's wide turn to drift it wide upon that top corner. As Dugard pulling away at the front. Castagna in second. Now Butler seems to be clamping authority on that third place position. They move on to lap 4. And looks if the Chili's could pick up two successive 4-2-seaters. Martin Dugard now well clear at the front. Castagna in second now, coming under pressure from Butler for that second place position. Castagna keeps a tight line, drifts it wide, coming out of the corner, race the line here, and it's Castagna in fact I think just hangs on. I'll leave that one to David Hughes. That looked pretty close to me, but it's Martin Dugard who wins it. I haven't waited the referee decision, but second is third.
Result then, very interesting heat number 3 there, which is a win in red for Martin Dugard. His winning time, same as the previous one, 59.4 seconds. And very close, but on the line in yellow-black, second, Armando Castagna.
Stalin Marshall checks the position of all 4 riders. Calls Butler right up, and 2 and Jonsson in 3. Moves away as the green light comes on, away, and once again Jonsson made the drop from the 3, has given a shove there by Troy Butler's Dave Mullet leads in the back straight, and Mullet takes Butler wide, that leaves a big gap, and Jonsson comes sailing through it, and once again this pairing packs a major places for the racers. Mullet round the outside, Jonsson up the inside, left the gap, and Dugard almost got in between them there. He's almost between them again on that top corner. Jonsson shows Dugard gets it back ahead of Mullet, but finds Jonsson blocking his way, and Mullet's allowed to sweep back there to join Jonsson. These two once again riding together for that 5-1 as Jonsson on the inside, Mullet round the outside. Dugard again tries to split them up on that top corner, Butler losing contact at the back as Mullet comes right alongside Jonsson again going into that pits corner. Jonsson on the inside, Mullet round the outside again. Jonsson has to throttle back to allow Mullet to get there with him. Look, if Dugard goes for the gap there, there's just a bite between them as they move to the back straight for the final time. And there's a gap again, and Dugard's almost alongside Jonsson as Jonsson with the inside line. Mullet round the outside. No order for Dugard. He locks it up on the inside of that pits corner, and this pairing get the second consecutive 5-1. That's 2 superb pieces of team riding. Jonsson and Mullet have put together. They did over Hans Nielsen in heat number 1, and they've done it over Martin Dugard in similar style in heat number 5. So as they come into line 4, heat 11, then we have Mark Carlson in as a reserve ride for Glenn Cunningham on gate number 1. Unbeaten Dave Mullet on gate 2. Dean Barker also unbeaten with 5 paid 6s opening 2 gate 3, and Per Jonsson yet another unbeaten rider on gate number 4. Heat 11 being held a long time, and it's Carlson who gets a drop on Mullet. Jonsson sweeps into the action. We have 3 abreast coming out of that top corner as Jonsson shows them from Carlson. It's Mullet in third. Dean Barker now with it all to do at the back as they come to the complete lap number 1. It's Jonsson looking back to see if his partner's there with him. He's not there with him at the moment. It's Mark Carlson who's got the second place. It's still Mullet in third. Carlson lifts it coming out of that top corner, but still hangs on to second as Jonsson pulling away at the front. It's Carlson second, Mullet trying to cut back inside. Carlson coming in out of that pits corner, but still he has to be content with third place at the moment. Dean Barker trying to get back in the action. Mullet again keeps a tight line on that top corner. Good aggressive line there by Dean Barker. See him sweep right round the outside of Dave Mullet coming up that top, and Mullet lifts. My word, that could have been so nasty there. That really could have been so nasty as Dave Mullet trying to get some drive came out of the pits corner, got the lift, went right across in front there of Dean Barker, and that could have been so much more dangerous than what it looked. I say Mullet found the drive, came out of the pits corner, lifted, went right across in front of Dean Barker. So the engines begin to pick up the revs for heat 12 away, and Morton's made a good gate. In fact, gets the corner first ahead of Nielsen. Doncaster and Butler battling out the back as Morton leads in the back for lap number 1. Doncaster slips to the inside to join him, and again Nielsen finds himself on the receiving end of a 5-1 at the moment. Morton's gone wide, leaves a little tiny gap, and Nielsen goes roaring through it to chase after Doncaster. As Doncaster shows in for Nielsen, it's Morton in third. Down the back straight they go on in the heat number 12 again. Some good action in this heat number 12. As Doncaster just ahead of Nielsen. Nielsen pushing on after Doncaster. Now Troy Butler starting to close him on Ray Morton for that crucial third place position. As down the back straight they go once again. It's still Doncaster who shows from Nielsen. The battle really raging for that third place position. We look at the leaders again as they come on to lap number 4. Doncaster, who hasn't done too much this morning, still shows for Nielsen. And it's again Morton under pressure from Butler for that third place position. As down the back straight they go once again. Nielsen gets close to Doncaster. Doncaster takes the inside line, forcing Nielsen to go around the outside and race the line. Jeremy Doncaster wins it. Another race to the line for the third place, and Ray Morton hangs on to that. So Hans Nielsen yet again beaten this morning, and it's a win there for Jeremy Doncaster. Second, Hans Nielsen, and the crucial third place goes to Ray Morton.
Well, we're having tremendous racing here at Cowley this morning. I think you all agree with me, whichever team you're supporting. The result of heat number 12. In blue,
Heat 14, the race is still on that 4-point advantage. We've got Troy Butler on gate number 1, Ray Morton on gate 2, Glenn Cunningham gate 3, and Ian Anderson opposite the top car for the racers in this one, gate number 4. 4 riders settled for heat 14. Away, and it's Butler making a dream gate from the inside. Morton gets in and gets round the outside. Butler trying to hit back on the inside, and there comes Anderson round the outside, comes alongside Butler, but Butler moves back ahead of Anderson, sweeps back round him again, but goes wide, coming out of that pits corner. 3 abreast now as they complete lap number 1. It's Morton then for Anderson. Anderson cleverly switches back to the inside line when he saw that Morton was going to go out round the outside line. Butler again trying to split them up. He shoulder to shoulder with Anderson. Anderson might have made a mistake going for that inside line and spent himself boxed in by his own teammate, but Anderson cleverly cuts back through again, but he's left the gap on the inside, and Butler moves back through again. There's still 3 abreast coming up that top corner as Morton then from Butler. Anderson in third. Classic action in this heat number 14 as Ray Morton still then from Troy Butler. Now Anderson trying to cut back inside Butler in turns, trying to get round Morton. Morton goes wide to block Butler, coming round the outside. Anderson tries to exploit the gap that Butler's left up the inside, and now Butler gets alongside Anderson going in that back straight, and Butler gets around Anderson, gets around Morton and takes Morton really wide there, so it's all happening on the final corner. And Ray Morton, who led the race for virtually 3 3/4 laps, finds himself coming in last in an absolutely dramatic heat number 14. Tremendous win there for Troy Butler. Not only did he win the race, he pushed out Ray Morton so wide he couldn't control the bike, and that left the gap for Glenn Cunningham to come through and snatch what could be a priceless third place, because if they'd got the 3 apiece there, the racers would have won the match. No Martin Dugard, despite the fact he had scored more points than Hans Nielsen this morning. Interesting that Doncaster was used because Dave Mullet scored as many points, but of course may not be 100% fit after that fall, so it's an interesting choice by both team managers for this heat number 15. It was Doncaster and Castagna the last time that it was last heat decider, and they couldn't do it for the racers. Can Johnson, was Johnson and Castagna of course the last time. Can Johnson and Doncaster do it for the racers this time? Been held a long time, and Johnson again has got the drop, but he isn't the quickest to the corner. Nielsen sweeps round the outside of him, and Dean Barker's battling for his life there at the back. Gets round the edge of Doncaster and gets round the edge of Johnson, and Barker with a good aggressive top corner caught out both the racers' riders as Nielsen shows in from Barker. It's Johnson in third, Doncaster at the back end, these two riding for their lives now going down that back straight. Nielsen on the inside, Barker around the outside. Johnson, who hadn't been beaten, finds himself on the receiving end of a 5-1 at the moment after handing out to himself this morning. But it's still Barker then from Nielsen, Johnson third, these three a long way clear of Jeremy Doncaster, with the track rapidly drying out. I don't think Johnson's going to find the drive to get to either Oxford rider from that position. They're coming on to lap 4, Barker looks across, there's Nielsen there with him, Johnson still in third, they're on the last lap this time. It's Barker riding mid-track, Nielsen up the inside line, they're pulling away for Johnson. Barker's pulling away for Nielsen, who's doing enough to keep back the challenge of Per Johnson to Oxford, have not been in front all morning. Snatch it in the last heat. A win there for Dean Barker. Second Hans Nielsen. Third place Per Johnson, who hadn't dropped the point up to that stage. And once again, against the racers, Oxford have produced the 5-1.
Show your appreciation for Hans Nielsen and Dean Barker. A tremendous piece of teamwork.
And once again, they've done it and got the 5-1 in the final heat. And those 2 drop points could cost the racers very dearly in their quest for league honours. Thankful the rain has momentarily stopped as it was coming out for heat number 1 of this what should be a real hard-fought league match. Wolverhampton winners here in the Gold Cup a little bit early on in the season, but much more strengthened Oxford side tonight with the new averages coming in anyway. So settling for heat number 2, Morris, Carlson, Lever and Butler. Carlson being called one up in the number 2 gate. Away, and it's Carlson making a good gate with 2 gate. Morris and Lever get it with him. Butler's missed the gate. He's going to work his way through for the back. He wants points in this one. It's Carlson then can Lever. Morris in 3rd. Butler going for line round the outside. Morris going in to that pitch for the squares round the outside. Morris with finds Lever blocking his way, but he's got his way back through into 3rd place. Morris trying to get back inside Butler. Gets inside Butler on that top corner. Butler again back round the outside. Good action to the odd place at the back. It's Carlson off clear of Lever. Butler again goes wide on that pitch corner. He's got a good lead over Morris now and closing up on Nigel Lever for the 2nd place position. It's Carlson lifts it coming out of that top corner, but still hangs on to his lead. Butler's right there with Nigel Lever battling for that 2nd place. Lever on the inside. Butler goes to speed round the outside line, comes alongside Lever and moves through into 2nd place. Good aggressive ride there by Troy Butler. As Carlson then from Butler. Lever trying to hit back on the inside line, but Butler's got the measure him now as down the back straight they go on lap number 4. So maximum points coming up for this new strong reserve pairing as Mark Carlton wins it. 2nd, Troy Butler. 3rd place, Nigel Lever.
Decided to hold proceedings up for approximately 10 minutes just to see if in fact this rain will go away. The track is holding up reasonably well at the moment, so if we can get this rain to stop fairly quickly, there's a hope we can continue with the meeting. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. And if you can bear with us, and looking ahead there, looking overhead, the cloud, certainly the black cloud is going directly overhead at the moment, and if that can move a little bit farther, hopefully that rain will go away.
Crowd obviously very anxious tonight. Would you like to tell them how difficult it is to ride on this track tonight?
Yeah, well, I understand, you know, obviously they're not very happy because it's, you know, I wouldn't be happy standing out there in the rain and the cold either, but the track, you know, there's a bit of discussion going on now. The track's very greasy, and I know it looks easy from out there, but it's very greasy, and when you can't see, it's pretty dangerous.
We've got Troy Butler in red, Mark Carlson in blue, Samuel Ermolenko in white, Charles Ermolenko in yellow and black, and it's Butler making a good gate for 2. Gate is under pressure from both the Ermolenkos. The Butler has it, and Samuel Ermolenko locks up there, and Mark Carlson goes into the back of him and catches a man on the centre green. And I think we've already had doubts about the meeting, and that may well be enough to get this meeting off. The racing is continuing, but we've got a big problem with one of the track staff who was hit there by Mark Carlson, who doesn't really know what to do about that situation. Obviously, Reg Trott has not seen the problem, but the racing continues. I think we better tell him. Does he know that bloke's down, Mike? He hit him on that first lap, you see, bike one on the middle, he knocked the bloke down.
The referee can hear me. I just said something about the conditions. I've just nearly killed an innocent guy standing on the middle of the track. It wasn't Sam's fault because he locked up, it's the conditions. There's a guy lying here on the track in absolute agony now. You never think of things like that, do you?
Samuel Ermolenko, gate 1, Hans Nielsen, gate 2, Peter Carlson, gate 3, Glenn Cunningham, gate number 4, 33 apiece, still 4 heats to go. Away, and Nielsen's made a tremendous gate for the 2-gate. Ermolenko gets it, they get to the corner together, and Ermolenko tries to give Nielsen a shove, a good ride by Nielsen, sees him get round the outside of Ermolenko. Carlson in third, and Ermolenko almost looked like he was coming down, going in to that pit squad. He really was in trouble there, but he managed to hang on to his machine, but allows Nielsen clear at the front. Ermolenko in second. It's Peter Carlson in third, and this is where Nielsen's got to stay, because Oxford have got to scramble 3 points out of this one. As Nielsen, and Ermolenko, in fact, trying too hard, falls on the pit's corner. Then Cunningham gets through for third. Ermolenko has quickly got it remounted. Can he get to Glenn Cunningham? And that is drama indeed, and that is a crucial point. And we've got Ronnie Corrie on gate number 1, Martin Dugard on gate 2, Charles Ermolenko gate 3, and Troy Butler in as a reserve ride, gate number 4. Four riders ready. Away, and Corrie slides out of that one gate. Is Dugard in the action with him. Charles Ermolenko and Butler battling it out for that crucial third place. As Corrie shows them for Dugard, Charles Ermolenko's got the third, but Butler goes diving inside. Charles Ermolenko pushes him wide on that pit's corner, but Ermolenko comes back round Butler. Butler comes again to snatch that vital third place. There's Corrie then from Dugard. It's Butler in third. Charles Ermolenko at the back into the pit's corner on lap number 2. Still Corrie now coming under pressure from Dugard, coming out of that pit score. It's developing into 2 separate races, as Charles Ermolenko still pushing Troy Butler for the third place. It's still Corrie, 5-6 yards clear of Dugard. Butler in third, Ermolenko at the back as they come on to the last lap. And Dugard almost overcooked it there on that pit's corner, at the top corner again on lap 4. As Corrie now pulling away from Dugard. Butler in third, Charles Ermolenko not too far behind him into the pit's corner for the final time. This third place is crucial again as Ronnie Corrie wins it, and Charles Ermolenko dives inside Troy Butler there. He dived right inside Troy Butler. It looked for all the world as if Butler had done enough to snatch the crucial third, but Charles Ermolenko has gone diving through, and that is another crucial third place. This time it goes to Wolverhampton. It brings it back all square, and this match is really balling up now. Oxford, I say, have crucially got that 1 in 3. I'm a little bit surprised that Ronnie Corrie has been given the number 4 gate. I thought he may have had that 2-gate, the try-out gate, Nielsen, because Ermolenko is more likely to battle through from the back. But it's Ermolenko who's got that number 2 getting position. Nielsen 1, Ermolenko on 2. Ermolenko not happy with Nielsen's position in the box there, and starting marshal telling Nielsen to move over because Ermolenko's not happy where he is at the grid. That just all adds to the tension and the drama. Gate obviously on a wet track is going to be so vitally important. Sorry, Marshall moves away, and it's Nielsen who gets a drop. Ermolenko gets it. Ermolenko gets the corner first. Dugard trying to sweep round the outs of Ermolenko, and Corrie in fact sweeps round the outs of Nielsen and goes between Dugard and Nielsen. A superb ride there by Ronnie Corrie, who's now back under pressure from Martin Dugard as Ermolenko shows from Corrie. Dugard in third, Nielsen at the back, and that really was a brilliant piece of riding there by Ronnie Corrie. because they were so concerned about Samuel Malenko, they forgot about Ronnie Corrie, left a colossal gap, and Corrie went through, but Dugard's pushing up in now to try and retake that second place. A complete lap 2. Malenko from Corrie, Dugard in third. Dugard's gone too wide in that top corner. Corrie pulls away from again. Dugard trying to get back in the action, going down that back straight. As Malenko then from Corrie. It's Dugard in third. Nielsen surprisingly at the back as Samuel Malenko leads onto lap 4. Corrie still there in second. Dugard in third. Nielsen at the back can make no impression as Samuel Malenko hasn't done too much so far this evening. He's going to put it together for the Wolves in this heat 15 as Samuel Malenko wins it. Second, Ronnie Corrie. Third place, Martin Dugard. 5-1 to the Wolves there in heat number 15.
It was down the big pressure rounds on the last one again. You either get a 5-1 or a 4-2 to win, and we've had a few of those this year with Sam, and we've only dropped a couple of them, and I was in a bit of trouble that last race there because I didn't make the break on the skate, you know, and I thought, well, I better do something quick, and I just got lucky. Hands like parked on the inside, and Dugard was high enough where I can just squeeze between the both of them, and I got there luckily.
Obviously, it was a difficult gate. The track was still pretty wet, and if you hadn't, you say you didn't make the gate, but the gap appeared. If you hadn't have gated and the gap hadn't appeared, you could have been the rider with the problems from that 4 gate.
That's right. It could have been totally changed. You know, gate 4 is probably the hardest gate tonight because that's where everybody rides, and it was very slick and very slimy, so it was really hard to get out of there. You know, and 3 was nice and grippy, so it was definitely an advantage in 3 over 4. So it's a matter of making a good one or cutting back and hoping that something is going to happen, and it just all came together for me.
It was a very strange match, so many hold-ups. I know you were one of the riders that desperately wanted the meeting to continue, and in the end it proved right for Wolverhampton.
Well, I didn't desperately want it to continue. I just didn't think that because the skies were clear, you know, the people come to watch racing, and I mean, geez, this last week I've been riding tracks a lot worse than the conditions out there today, and you know, I don't want to put anybody in a risk out there, but I didn't think it was too bad. I think that we're all good enough riders to be able to cope with it.
Tremendous performance by Gordon Kennett back on his old track tonight.
Yeah, he's going well. I mean, he's been struggling the first couple of meetings with us without having the right equipment, but we helped him out with an engine, and he's going really good, and I think he appreciates it by winning races for us.
Back in the Oxford side tonight, in the number 4 jacket, Morten Andersen. Morten, is the injury okay now?
No, it's not okay. I need an operation in the end of the year, so I have to use tape every time.
You must be a little bit disappointed because you've just ridden yourself up into the main body of the side, now you've been struck down with this injury.
Sorry?
You must be disappointed the injury happening just as you rode yourself up into the main body of the team.
It's, I think I've been lucky all season. I've been injured free, so everybody on the team has been injured, so it had to be my turn sometime.
And obviously with Oxford losing a few matches in your absence, the supporters will be glad to see you back in the side tonight.
I will do everything what I can to win this match, and I think we can win it tonight.
Season rapidly slipping by. Are you pleased the way things have gone for you in your first full season of racing?
If I didn't have all these problems with my injuries and stuff, I think it would have been a good season.
And obviously looking to be back here at Oxford again next season.
I hope so.
Let's hope you have a trouble-free and a hot...
Just the one change, of course, on the Ipswich side that ended last season. Neville Tatum now with the Peterborough Panthers, and Tony Olsen is his replacement. Otherwise, exactly the same side. But Ipswich finished off their very successful first season back in Division 1 last season. Green lights on. Away, and Tizar makes a good gate for the 1 gate, and it's Norwich who gets set with him. Ipswich pack the major places going down that back straight. Norwich has gone wide, and Dugard goes roaring from the inside, gets through in the second, trying to get round the edge of Tizar, pushes Tizar wide on that pit scorner. Good aggression right there by Martin Dugard, sees him come right through from third to first. As Dugard, and he goes into trouble on that pit corner, catches the safety fence on the pit corner, and all sorts of problems there for Martin Dugard at the back. And we now got David Norwich falling on the pit corner. He's trying to get it quickly. Dugard sees what happens, remounts to take the 3rd place. As it's, in fact, it was Tizar who fell on that pit corner.
At Wolverhampton on Wednesday, and we was running the bike very, very short for a very slick track. Obviously, my mechanic, he's put it straight back together tonight, and it never crossed our minds. And running a short bike is very hard to turn, as I just found out.
So finally settling for heat number 13. Scotty Marshall moves away. Away, and Louis made a good gate. The 2-gate Dugard gets it, and then Barker goes barging through on the inside of the track, gets round the outside of Louis. Louis trying to cut back on the inside, comes back alongside Dugard. They're all three abreast going into that pits corner as Dugard shows for Louis. Barker trying to get back around Louis. Louis trying to cut back through on the inside line, retakes the second place as Dugard just ahead of Louis. Barker in third, Norris at the mark, not between the four of them as they make their way to the back straight on lap number 2. Dugard gets a wide line coming out of that pitch when he gets a drive, lifts, front wheel lifts in front of his face. He gets it down quickly and still has the advantage going on to lap 3. Louis in second, Barker in third, Norris at the back, and still nothing much between the four of them as Barker pressing hard up at second place position. Of course, a 4-2 here would stretch the Chillers lead to 8 and would see them get the bonus point as well. As down the back straight goes Martin Dugard on lap number 4. Looks left, looks right. Louis some 5-6 yards behind him. These two now pulling away from Dean Barker. Late determined effort by David Norris that third, and a late run by Louis, but Dugard goes more to block him as Martin Dugard wins it. Second, Chris Louis. Third place, Dean Barker. The 4-2. We still wait the first 5-1 of the evening, and that moves the Chillers now 8 in front. At the moment, the Chillers with that 6-point advantage, which means the bonus point would have to be settled with a run-off should it be a 3-all in this heat number 15. They settle for 15. 4 riders ready. Away, and Ricketson made a good gate on the inside. Nielsen gets it. They get the corner first. Nielsen closes Ricketson down on the inside of that pit stop. But Teaser, in fact, works away to the second. Dugard has got to battle through to get to a scoring position. This one as Nielsen then from Teaser. Ricketson in third. Dugard at the mark. Good action now in this heat number 15 as Nielsen leads into that top corner on lap 2. It's Teaser in second. Ricketson in third. Dugard has got to get into at least the third place of Oxford to get the bonus point. As Nielsen leads coming out of that pit corner, Teaser goes wide, Ricketson now moves through, and the second might well be ready to stop there with Teaser because he leaves Teaser on his own. Dugard might in a challenging blow for that third place position. As Nielsen a long way clear at the front, it's still Ricketson in second, Teaser in third. Teaser's gone wide, coming out of that pit corner, chance for Dugard to cut back for the run in for the third place position. As Nielsen well away at the front, it's still Ricketson in second, Teaser in third. Dugard lifts coming out of that top corner. He's not going to get the Zdeněk Teaser from that position, so we're going to have a run-off for the bonus point. Nielsen gets a 15-point maximum. Second, Tony Ricketson. The third place is Zdeněk Teaser. That's 3 apiece. It finishes with Oxford 6 up, and we're going to have a run-off for that bonus point. So Nielsen virtually on 2, and Ricketson almost alongside him on gate 3. The 2 riders settle. Green lights on straight away. Away, and Nielsen made a tremendous gate. That 2-gate, Rickettson's got to do the hard way for the back. Nielsen kept the front wheel down, has got the drive, and Ricketson goes too wide coming off that top corner. Sean, Ace is sitting with a chance for the league, and if they want to win the league, they've got to be looking at getting 2 away points tonight.
Well, I would say for the rest of the season, as in the league tables, Reading still down a couple meetings, and they're up there in points. You know, Wolverhampton and Reading are going to be the fighters. I mean, we're going to have to be, I have to say, a bit lucky, you know, to come out to win as far as the league goes. But, you know, Speedway and anything can happen. I'm Martin. And, well, just hoping we need wins all the time, you know, from now on.
After your delayed start to the season, are you happy the way things have gone for you this season?
I'm happy with myself, yeah. My racing's been consistent. I'm happy with my average. I do have my bad meetings, we all do. I hope it's not one tonight again. I don't know, something about Oxford gets to me.
The Aces could pick up a heat advantage in this heat number 3. They're on the last lap now. Again, an anxious look over his shoulder there by Sean Moran. If Dugard gives it a big burst round the outside, he might catch Moran. He's right behind Moran now as they move into the pit squad, and Dugard's gone round the outside. Moran trying to hit back on the inside. He's going to lose himself a second place by trying to team ride Jason Lyons as Jason Lyons wins it. Second, Martin Dugard. Third place, Sean Moran, and through being unselfish there, Sean Moran, instead of going off and leaving his partner, he has cost himself a paid winning ride. He not being caught right up in that number 4 gate. Scotty Marshall moves away. Clean break, and Shots made a good gate to the inside. Dugard gets out with him, and Bobby Ott has missed a start upon himself way down the back of the moment, but Shot goes wide, and Ott goes sweeping through from last to first. What a tremendous ride. Down goes Morton Anderson. Freddie Shot ploughs into the back of him, and the blue exclusion light is on there for Morton Anderson, who falls going in to the pits corner. Heat 8, 21 apiece. Green light comes on, starting marshal moves away, and Sumner again has made a good gate in the 3-gate. Butler goes to line full on the inside, but Stonier's got through around the outside of Sumner. Sumner comes back on the inside line, and shots gone wide on the outside. A good ride by Sumner. He's worked his way through in the second place. Shot trying to get back round the outside of him as Butler leads complete in 1. Sumner in second, Shot in third, Stonier at the back. They're all bunching up for the places in this heat number 8, but still Butler leads in that back straight. Sumner in second, Shot again going for line round the outside of Sumner, going into the pits corner, but Sumner grimly hanging on to that second at the moment, completely in lap 2. Butler's pulling away at the front. Sumner still in second, Shot in third. Stonier at the back looks like he could have the first 5-1 of the evening after being behind for most of the match. The Cheetahs could claw themselves in front here as Butler looks safe at the front. Still Sumner through for second. Shot in third. Stonier now losing contact at the back, so it could be a first paid winning ride coming up for Daz Sumner in the Oxford colours. Both Butler and Sumner pulling away in this crucial heat number 8 as Troy Butler gets the wins. Second place Daz Sumner, third place Freddie Shot. The Cheetahs get the first 5-1 of the evening and go in front after 8 heats. So can the Oxford reserve pairing do the business in this heat 14? Stonier, Butler, Moran and Carlson, 39 apiece, 2 heats to go. Green lights on, away, and it's Butler making a good gate. Moran gets it with him. Stonier gets in the axe as well as Butler takes Moran wide on that top corner. Moran squeezes round the outside. Butler comes it again, the shoulder to shoulder, going into that pits corner, and Butler hasn't left Moran too much room on the outside of that pits corner, but Moran has gone through. Butler in second, and Stonier at the moment has got the crucial third, but Stonier falls on the top corner, so the luck swings back to Oxford in this heat 14. As Moran then from Butler, Carlson in third, and Stonier, when in third place, falls on the top corner. He's remounted, but the onus on Moran to get the 3 points here to keep Bellevue in this match. Nielsen also chasing a 15-point maximum in this heat 15. So either way up, Bellevue have got more points tonight than what they have in their 2 previous visits to Cowley this season. And I'll say yet again, a Cowley last heat decider. Green lights on, away, and Nielsen has made the drops up and Screen get out with him, and can they get anywhere near Nielsen? Nielsen leads down the back straight on lap number 1. Dugard moves through in the Screen, trying to get back round Dugard. They're bunching up for second, third and fourth as Nielsen shows then for not. It's Screen in third. Dugard's got the gap up the inside, gets back inside Screen again. Terrific scrap for third place, and this third place is so crucial. Nielsen at the front is still hot in second. Screen now moves back through in the third. Dugard at the back is into the pits corner on lap number 2. Nielsen then, and Ott's right there with him now going into that pits corner. Nielsen on the inside, Ott trying to cut back inside Nielsen, coming off that top corner. Screen now pulling away from Dugard for the third, but Nielsen seems to have the measure of Bobby Ott again. As Nielsen then from Ott, it's Screen in third. Dugard at the back, looks like another 3-all, and looks like the sides are going to end in deadlock as Nielsen leads down the back straight for the final time. He's pulling away from Ott, and now Dugard's getting back at Joe Screen. Screen goes wide on that pits corner. Ott turns him inside out to try and get to Nielsen as Hans Nielsen wins it. Second is Bobby Ott. Third spot, Joe Screen. Yet again a 3 apiece. Yet again a draw here at Cowley.
And you know, the track was a bit tricky going in the corners. It got a bit icy towards the end, and you know, Jason lost it. I didn't see Carl's crash, so I can't moan about Carl.
3 times you met Hans Nielsen tonight. 3 times he just got a drop on you at the gate, and in the end that was decisive.
Yeah, it happened last time I was down here. You know, I met him 3 times last time, and 3 times he beat me. You know, it's happened the same again. You know, it's just my gating letting me down now. You know, I caught him up after he made the start on me, but you know, I just didn't have that bit extra to get past him. So, you know, it's just me starting what's letting me down again at the moment.
Interesting, you took 1 in 3 in the nominated, and you took number 3 gate. Didn't you feel him up a bit on the inside of Hans?
Well, you've got to let Bobby have what he wants, because, you know, he has some moods on me if you don't get what he wants. So, you know, Bobby went off the best gate off 1, and, you know, Hans, you know, whatever gate Hans comes off, he'll get there.
Daz, you've had a few matches to get settled down for the Cheetahs. Yeah. How are you finding things?
Okay, I'm enjoying it. It's a little bit hard, you know, but I'm not scoring too many points, but I'm enjoying it. It's not too bad up to now.
Obviously, you probably have found things a little bit easier if you could have been drafted in that reserve rather than in the main body of the side.
Well, I think you get an easier first race, obviously, but after that, I think it's like they're as hard as any. So it would have been nice, and I was kind of planning on coming in at reserve, but it didn't work out in the end that way. So
First was at number 2, and now I'm at number 4.
And this following on from what really has been an up and down season, both for you and for Middlesbrough Speedway in general this season.
Yeah, I've not had too bad a year really. I feel I've had probably a better year this year than last year, but the team up at Middlesbrough has struggled quite a lot, and that's kind of had an influence on bringing you down a little bit. But other than that, I feel that I've had quite a decent year. It's just a pity that it's ending now, really.
Again this season you came into a First Division side well into the season, like you did at Bellevue. That must make the task doubly difficult.
I think so, but I can't answer that because I've never started at the beginning. It would be nice to. I agree with that.
At the end of the day, that wasn't the reason I left Eastbourne. You know, Eastbourne were having financial difficulties. They was going to have to buy me off Oxford, which was like £8,000 transfer fee. This added to Eastbourne's like financial costs, and really they released me to Cradley because Cradley could afford to pay that transfer money. So obviously, as you said, I haven't got the travelling down to Eastbourne, but that's not the reason that I left Eastbourne, the travelling. It was just financial reasons, and Cradley was without Yano. It just seemed to happen.
And speaking, you must have enjoyed your time at both Eastbourne and Wimbledon. You were an out-and-out number 1 there and proved yourself to be a world-class rider in both home and away matches for both sides.
Well, that's right. I had a good time at Wimbledon. That really got my confidence up. I went to Eastbourne, First Division. Still kept my confidence like high, and my average went up to 9.5. I wish it was 9.5 at the moment, but it's not. But you know, I'm not disappointed with the average I've got really, because like I say, in Cradley is a harder team, and to keep your average up there, it's you know, it is difficult. There's a lot of younger lads in the Cradley team, and I am 35 now, you know. But I'm still capable of scoring good points.
Cradley number 3, Martin Dugard.
Try Oxford.
Oxford number 3, Martin Dugard. Martin, coming towards the end of the season, how do you feel things have gone for you in this 1992 season?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with my own performance throughout the year. Obviously, tired off for the last sort of month or so, but maybe that's due to too much speedway. Obviously, people can get tired with it, travelling here, there and everywhere. Not making any excuses, but I've had quite a good year, and it's a bit unfortunate to finish it on a bit of a low, but I've got 2 more meetings now, and hopefully with a bit of luck I can sort of pull my average up just a fraction and finish off on a high note, but we just have to wait and see.
What actually has been the high point for you in this 1992 season?
I don't know, it's all been good. The World Team Cup, finishing 2nd in the British final. It's all been good. If I'm going well, I feel happy and pleased with what I've done, and every meeting you have and you ride well at and have a good meeting is always a good meeting to put down. But I've got no special ones this year. Obviously, if I won some big individual meeting or some big meeting, I would probably say that. But I always come a close 2nd, and I'm just happy with the performance I've done this year. Everything's gone really well for me.
If there was a low point, one would imagine it would be going out at the semi-final in Austria.
Yeah, obviously, the thing was I qualified there. I had the 8th place, but as the FIM rule is that you have to have a Polish representative in Poland, that was my major downfall. But just one of those things. I look at it as if I qualified, but was unlucky. So, but it's just one of those things. Since then, I haven't sort of really gone that well. I've had 1 or 2 good meetings internationally, but my form for Oxford's been okay, but not outstanding.
This heat 3, 6 apiece. After 2 heats of action tonight, green lights on straight away. A clean break, and Hamburg's made a good gate. Cross gets out with him. Barker goes to the line right round the outside of that top corner. Sumner moves back to the third. Barker sweeps back round his partner, but once again the Heathens have a 1-2 situation. As cross then from Hamburg. Barker in third, Sumner at the back. But Barker definitely closing up on Hamburg as they race into that top corner. Once again, cross rides mid-track. Hamburg on the inside line. Barker again right there with Hamburg as they move into the pits corner once again. Cross wide to wide line. Hamburg again hugs the inside, but Barker almost gets in fact we're into the back of good Hamburg coming out of that pits corner there. But still the Heathens back a 1-2 situation, so the 5-1's really in full flow in these early heats this league match tonight. As cross from Hamburg. Barker in third. Hamburg lifts it coming out of that pits corner, gets the front wheel back and again hangs on to his second place. Barker in third. Sumner getting tailed off for the back. So it looks like 3 successive 5-1s. A late determined effort by Barker around the outside of that pits corner as Cross wins it. Second good Hamburg. Third place Dean Barker. The third consecutive 5-1. 2 to Cradley, 1 to Oxford. And I think Dean Barker having a few words there with good Hamburg and not too happy about something there. Has words with the world number 3. As Morton Anderson being called one up in the number 2, as is Billy Hamill in the number 3 gate in position. Scotty Marshall moves away, being held by Jeff Dolby, and Dugard makes the good gate. Hamill squeezes through on the inside, but Anderson nicely on the inside. Hamill again back round the outside line, but Morton Anderson almost caught Billy Hamill there. We could have had a nasty accident there. Looked if Morton Anderson just touched the edge of Billy Hamill's machine, but Hamill managed to get away with it. 33 apiece, heat 12. That'll be a race, a crucial one now in these closing 4 heats. Green lights on. Away, and Nielsen made a good gate with the 4 gate. Hamburg gets in. Hamburg in fact gets in Hamill's way, and that cuts Hamill up, and all 4 in a bunch going down that back straight. It's Hamill in fact to the back at the moment as his own teammate got in his way on the first corner. Hamill having great difficulty getting by Morton Anderson with the 3rd place at the moment. As Nielsen then from Hamburg. Hamill in 3rd. Morton Anderson trying to cut back inside Hamill on that top corner, but Hamill moves back around him again. And certainly Billy Hamill's problem tonight is not making the starts at all tonight. And Hamburg has got a dramatic engine failure on the pits corner, and that lets Morton Anderson through for the gift point in 3rd. Hamburg's got it going again, but that could be crucial there, that incident in heat number 12.
And she is reigns supreme, the final victory. All is headlining this one in
Speedway promotion, the riders, track staff and the supporters club as well from EPD York. Thanks very much for being with us in 92. We look forward to seeing you in 1993. A safe drive home, and from EPD York, bye-bye and good night. Bye.